Good morning, Daybreak watchers. We're going to get going in about 30 seconds here.
Is that cavity rates go up.
Weekday evenings from 5 to 7 on 92.7 WMDX.
This is Jeff Santos. From corporate greed to government corruption, social justice to economic inequality, we tell it like it is. No fluff, just facts. Join me weekdays.
Good morning!
Morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. We've talked the whole night through.
Good morning.
Good morning to you.
This is where Wisconsin wakes up. It's Daybreak with Brian Noonan and Jamie Martinson. Here are your hosts, Brian and Jamie.
Nuh-uh. Good morning. It is Daybreak. I'm Brian Noonan. Jamie is not here this week. She is on vacation. But have no fear. Our trusty team of fine producers, Frank and Parker, are here with me, and we will endeavor to, well, we're not going to endeavor to. We're going to do the show, and then Jamie will come back next Monday, and everything will be back to normal. Hi, boys.
Yeah.
How are you? Good morning.
Good morning.
Good weekend?
I'm good.
Uh-oh.
No, dude. My
Still
entire
sick?
I'm not sick. My wife got sick Friday.
Oh.
And a lot of plans were derailed.
Oh, no. So
We
then
had-
did you have to take on caregiver mode?
I did for Friday.
Okay.
Yeah.
How do you do at that, Nurse Ratchet?
I'm fine. I mean, there wasn't a whole lot I had to do. I mean, I had to run to Jewel and get like saltine crackers and Gatorade and Pedialyte and all that stuff.
All right.
And then got the request, can you get me applesauce? So then I was going up and down aisles and I couldn't find it. And I refused to ask a worker.
Why would you not ask where applesauce is?
Because I
You
don't
didn't
know.
see
That's
like
a
the
weird...
canned fruit aisle? That would
It was,
be where.
it was with the baking stuff.
Really?
Yes, it was a weird placement, but no, I don't know. Asking somebody where the applesauce, it's a weird item to ask.
Not if you're not really. If you're a parent with a child, I mean, you don't.
Yeah,
have a child, but they
I'm
don't
not
know,
a parent
but
with
they
a
don't-
child.
right? But you don't.
You're of
They
that
don't know
age.
that, and you look like you could be. So applesauce. It's not like you were asking for some exotic ingredient that a regular Jewel Osco is not going to carry.
I would rather ask for that.
An exotic ingredient.
Well, yeah, because let's say I put on the charade that I do have a child.
All right.
Mom's not here. Dad's out grocery
Divorced
shopping.
dad, maybe.
Yeah,
You
he
get some
doesn't
for
know
the
what he's
weekend.
doing because he didn't care enough.
Wow.
He didn't pay enough attention. He never did the grocery shopping. So now he's lost. He can't even find the applesauce. It's a whole thing, and I'm not buying into that.
Okay.
I'm not going to let the man win, Brian.
Well, so how long did you waste wandering aisle to aisle?
Oh, at
in Jewel?
least 10, 15 minutes just trying to find this one item.
But your pride is worth. Parker, see what you have to look forward to when you get a little older.
What I'm hearing is I just have to make sure I know where the applesauce is, and I'll
That's
be
a
good
good
to
point.
go.
Yeah, don't just count on your mom to do all the grocery shopping. You got to get out to the store yourself.
Oh, yeah.
Isn't it weird though that when somebody gets sick, they revert back to asking for very unusual things, most probably from their childhood, that made them
Right.
feel better when they were kids. They go, "Oh, I know what'll help, some applesauce."
I know. I was like, really? That doesn't sound appetizing.
Plain or cinnamon? What kind did you want? Just plain old applesauce?
Well, that's the other thing.
There's a million applesauce.
There's a million applesauces, which I didn't know. So I'm
yeah.
standing in front of it. There's, do you want organic? Do you want Granny Smith? Do you want Honeycrisp? Do you want cinnamon? Do you want no sugar added? Do you want sugar added?
Do you want a jar? Do you want individual cups?
So I took a picture and I said, do you have a preference? And I said out loud to myself, like a psychopath, she is not going to respond until I start driving away.
Oh, of course.
Yep,
Yeah,
that's
there's
how
no
it
doubt
works.
about it. You're
So
going to
I
make
made
a
the
pick, and it's going
decision.
to be wrong.
Yeah.
I checked out. I'm in the car. And sure enough, soon as the wheels start moving, I get a response. And I did not pick the right one.
Of course not.
Oh, no.
855-75-CIVIC, 855-752-4842. Oh, man, I don't even know where to begin with this. But do you do the grocery shopping? Would you have known where the applesauce was, or are you like Frank and your pride gets in the way and it makes you just wander about? Parker, you started to say something?
I mean,
Parker,
I
okay.
don't-
Parker,
I'm never
you-
asking. I'm never asking for help. I will put that out right there. I'm never
Wow.
asking for
Thank
help
you.
in the grocery
See,
store
now
because I don't like asking people for anything.
I don't either, but
Especially in public.
I am always in such a hurry to get out of any environment and back home that I will ask just to expedite my exit from said store. Because I don't want to be there wandering the aisles with people who are slumped over. Everybody goes into a store and they become the blobs from Wall-E, the animated film, where they're just laying over their car. "Oh, it's so hard to walk." And it's like, stop, just stand up straight, push the cart. Don't walk next to the cart. I hate those people too. They're walking down the narrow grocery store aisles. They're walking next to their
Oh,
cart.
no.
So
Jail.
they're taking up the whole aisle. They don't know what they're like. They don't know where the applesauce is, and they're just wandering around, getting in my. That's why I will ask for help, just so I can grab what I need and get out of there, and then get more aggravated with the people who are driving poorly on my way home till I can finally find peace.
But here's what I'll say. Let me defend myself real quick.
Please do.
At least I was doing this during off hours.
Okay.
I wasn't one of those idiots that's walking around like Sunday right before Packers kickoff, like prime shopping time, trying
Right.
to get home,
Okay. Yeah.
trying to decide, I'm just mosey on, I'm going to look around, I'm going to check out the applesauce selection.
The applesauce.
It was a Friday at like, what? We got
Okay.
done with the show at 9, done with our meeting at 9:30.
Right.
So I think I left at like 10:15.
Okay.
It's off hours.
Most people should be at work. I did
Right.
find yesterday I went to the grocery store at like 10:30, and it was great because I got in and I barreled through that grocery store. Everything was there. Lynn says they keep moving everything around, reorganizing, make it better. That's Lynn's in
I
Golden
agree.
Valley. Listen to WCF. Yes,
I completely agree.
if I go into a different store, a different grocery store than my usual, and all of a sudden I'm turned around, I'm like, oh no, where is everything? Now I am Frank. Now I'm just wandering because it's my own fault. I don't know this grocery store. I dared to try something different, and it's, oh boy.
That's why you never try something different. Also,
anything different.
Pam on the live stream says, good morning from Southern West Virginia.
Wow. All right. Good morning, Pam. Southern West Virginia. Coal
Or
mining
nationwide.
country.
Wow.
Yeah,
Is
we
that
got
coal mining
nationwide.
country?
West Virginia
Oh,
used
yeah.
to be coal mining country. Now coal. We're gonna bring coal back, Frank. They're gonna try. Hey,
I'm sure.
boys! I don't know if you celebrate, but today is 420 day. Today is 420. Everybody waking and baking.
Parker, where's the Bob Marley? You don't have that
We need
locked
to-
and loaded?
Oh,
We
shit,
need
I
to
didn't
be
think of
all
it. I didn't
Cheech
think
and
of
Chong reference. I want Harold and Kumar drops all day. It is. I don't even know. I haven't asked. It's none of my business. You can defer. Are you cannabis aficionados? Either one of you?
I'm not.
Not
I've
you,
never
Parker,
done-
because it's
No.
illegal in Wisconsin. You better watch what you say.
Right. Right.
No, how much time we got? I
plenty
had
of time,
I had a
Frank.
bad experience, Brian. I'm going to
Oh.
be honest.
Uh-oh.
Jail time in Turkey? Did you have to bite a
We
guard's tongue
were
out?
we were in Illinois. This was legal.
Okay.
Actually, was it legal at this time? I can't remember. Anyway, I was right out of college, and we went to a Lollapalooza after show. And if you don't know what Lollapalooza is, it's a very famous music festival in the Chicagoland area.
Frank, let me interrupt real quick.
Go ahead.
Jim, because then we'll move on from the applesauce. Jim in Campbellsport works at Piggly Wiggly. He says applesauce is next to the canned fruit in Piggly Wiggly, which is why I said it should be right near the canned fruit.
Hey.
He doesn't know why it was next to the baking stuff in your store.
Made no sense.
Made no sense. All right, so you're at a
I completely
Lollapalooza
agree.
after show.
And
You're high on Molly. Is that correct?
no, the
Oh.
people I was going with had edibles.
Okay.
And they said, do you want one? And I said, I really haven't partaken ever. They're like, really? I said, no, it's just not my thing. Like, I have no desire. No shade if you want to do it.
Yeah.
They're like, well, just try a little bit. I was like, oh whatever.
Pressure.
Whatever.
In your 30s, there's peer pressure?
This was, I was 22.
Oh, okay. You were younger. Oh,
Yeah.
all right. Okay.
I was 22. So I took it, and I was like, I don't feel anything. Oh, meanwhile, I'm drinking beer at this time, too.
Oh, good.
So they're like, do you want the whole thing?
Oh, good.
And I said, sure. I don't think it's really working. So we get in the car.
I don't think it's working.
Brian, you'll understand these references. We're on the way to the Aragon Ballroom.
Right on, the Brawl Room.
The Brawl Room to see Major Lazer, which is a EDM artist.
All right, that reference I did not get.
Okay, Parker gets that one.
Major Lazer.
Awesome name for an EDM artist.
Awesome name. We're on our way, and one of my best friends, one of my groomsmen in my wedding, happened to be in line at the ballroom, and I had no clue he was going to be there.
Okay.
Like, one of my best friends, and I said, what are you doing here? Because he lived in Kentucky at that time. He goes, I'm here for the concert. I said, you didn't want to say anything to me? He's like, well, yeah, we're really excited. They're all sober. And they're like at the front of the line. So we cut the entire line. Oh, and this is important.
Okay.
We get into the venue. So we were one of the first people in. So naturally, we're towards the front of the stage.
Right on.
That means I'm standing right next to the speakers. And in the middle of the set, it hits.
Yeah.
And I felt the sensation build up from my toes, reach to my body, and then I blacked out for like a second, and I lost it. Just complete panic. My girlfriend at the time, which is now my wife and roommate, looks at me and goes, what's wrong? And I stammered for about 10 seconds and couldn't talk.
Good God.
So she had to pull me away to the back. I drank some water, and yeah, never again.
Sometime when we have more time, I will. I had never smoked marijuana until 2 years ago. My entire life, never. I like to drink, and then like you, Frank, no shade on people who enjoy it. Most of my friends and all of my siblings enjoyed it, but it was not a good experience, and. Because I smoked way too much, not knowing because I smoked cigars. You smoke the whole cigar.
Yeah.
Oh, you smoke a whole cigar.
No.
Not some giant joint, some Cheech and Chong Bob Marley concoction that Seth Rogen had made for me. So, yeah, it was not a good night. But, yeah, this 420 day is attributed to a bunch of guys called the Waldos in California, and then the word of it spread. So it is 420 Day. Celebrate responsibly, folks. If you're waking and baking, just, be cool, man. Don't harsh anybody's mellow today. More, just real quick, more applesauce feedback. Who knew? Big topic, applesauce and grocery shopping for men. Mark in Prairie du Sac says, don't you know that grocery shopping is a middle finger to Jesse Waters and the whole right-wing media sphere? Yeah, Frank, you and I
dude,
are against the manosphere.
I remember when that happened, and I was like, dude, I always do the grocery shopping.
I do, too.
I do the cooking. Therefore, I'm shopping for my own goods.
Yeah. Definitely. And he says he knows where the applesauce is at his local Piggly Wiggly. When we come back, would you be okay with the National Guard at polling places this November? It may not be as far-fetched as you think. We'll get to that. This is Daybreak. I'm Brian Noonan on the Civic Media Network.
All right.
Yeah, it was only 2 years ago. It was the first time I tried pot.
2 years. So what was the catalyst for that one?
It was just, now it was legal and everybody was doing it, and my brother owns a dispensary. And I was like,
yeah, that makes sense.
Let me try it. I was on the deck. I had it was a beautiful night.
Right,
We had
why
some
not?
music going. It was like, all right, let's try it. And my wife said she was going to she was going to smoke it with me. Took one puff and then left me. And like you, I was
And
like,
fell asleep.
and I didn't feel anything, so I just kept smoking.
You're like, whatever. This is fine.
And
What's the
man-
big deal?
And then when I did start feeling things, it was great. My whole body was tingling. I was like, this is excellent. And then everything got really heavy, starting with my feet, like I couldn't move them.
Yeah.
Then my whole body, and I'm stuck in this chair on the deck, and I'm like, I'm aware of what's going on.
You're like, I'm
but
dying.
100%.
I'm dying right now.
And I thought the house across the alley was laughing at me. No people, just the house, because of the way the windows were configured. I'm
Sure,
like,
looked like a face.
the
Yeah.
house is laughing at me.
What the hell's old man Noonan doing now?
And then Debbie left. She just went in the house, and I'm like, oh my
She
God.
left you.
Yeah, and I'm terrified. And it took me forever just to try to get out of the chair. And my back was basically to the screen door, going to the sliding door to go into the kitchen. I don't know. It seemed like it took me an hour and a half to get up and try to turn my body to get into the kitchen to sit down.
Yeah.
Which is when I started sweating profusely. She showed back up. I asked for a garbage can. I puked a couple times.
Oh my God.
Then I woke up in my recliner a couple hours later. I don't know what happened.
Good God.
So
Live
that has
stream,
turned
if
into
you've
like
got
an 8 to
any-
10 minute closing bit for when I do stand up.
Live stream, if you got any stories, feel
Yeah.
free. This is a safe space.
It is a safe space.
This is a
Puff,
safe
puff,
space.
pass, not the whole thing, according to Mark.
All right. We got about 10 seconds here.
All facts, no fiction. It's Daybreak with Brian and Jamie.
Good morning. Welcome back to Daybreak. I am Brian Noonan. Jamie is on vacation this week, but you are always welcome to join me at 855-75-CIVIC, 855-752-4842. Would you be okay with the National Guard at polling places in November? Now, that sounds contrary to everything that America stands for, that we would have the military at polling places. It doesn't sound right. And it's going to lead, I think, to a big conflict, not only between the people and the administration, but the National Guard and the administration, because on Friday, the National Guard's top general told Congress that it would follow the Constitution and the law when he was asked about the possibility that the president would order troops to polling places for midterm elections. So it goes back to remember the whole thing about the video with Mark Kelly and a bunch of other senators and Congress people who had all served in the military. And they basically reminded the members of the military that it's okay to not follow unlawful orders. And it actually is their duty to not follow unlawful orders. And there was a big kerfuffle about that. And Whiskey Pete got all upset and decided that he was going to take on Mark Kelly, which backfired for him. But anyway, you're not supposed to follow unlawful orders. So the remarks were at a House Appropriations Subcommittee hearing. It came as Democratic lawmakers voiced unease over the continuing deployment of nearly 2,500 National Guardsmen in Washington, D.C., which they don't have anything for them to do. So we've seen footage of them picking up trash, just hanging around because they're deployed to fight all these domestic terrorists, which are not real. So, I don't know. Anyway, Representative Joe Morrell, he's a New York Democrat, he asked General Steve Nordhaus, he's the chief of the National Guard Bureau, what assurances he could provide to Americans concerned about the deployment of troops at the polls. And he said, quote, "The National Guard obviously always follows the Constitution, law, policy, and guidance, both at the federal and state level." Now, you may say, well, Brian, okay. What is the federal law? Parker, here's your civics quiz. Do you know the federal law on the deployment of military?
I do not.
Well,
please educate.
It prohibits it, Parker.
Okay.
That was an easy question. Yes. The U.S. Constitution and federal law prohibit the deployment of military to polling places unless necessary. Now, here's going to be the caveat that the administration is probably going to jump through hoops and bend over backwards and spin about and put their left one in and the left one out, and they're going to do it, shake it all about until they do the hokey pokey, because can't deploy the military to polling places unless necessary, quote, to repel armed enemies of the United States, end quote. And violations are punishable by up to 5 years in prison. We have never had armed enemies of the state at elections. We've had people protest. We've had in this country, which we have a right to do. We have all of that. Well, the president still, he does not buy into this. He's still saying he should have ordered National Guard to seize ballot boxes during the 2020 election. Yes, that was 6 years ago, friends. He still maintains was stolen, the election, so he ruminates on a bad decision not to send the National Guard in 6 years ago, but we've all proven that it's his reasoning is false. But then Steve Bannon, you remember Steve Bannon, the greasy troll-looking guy who wants to burn it all down, that was his quote. He's a former Trump advisor. He's publicly urged the president to send the military and ICE agents to patrol the polls, which they hope, come on, we all know why they would want ICE agents outside the polls, and you know why they would want the military and National Guard. You know why they want everybody at the polls, and that is to deter certain people from coming to vote. Now, we all know it is untrue that illegal immigrants are going to the polls by the thousands and throwing the election. We know that's false. We know the amount of voter fraud is minuscule at best. The percentage is so low, it shouldn't even be a percentage. We know that to be a fact. But if you put ICE agents out there based on the track record of what ICE has been doing over the last few months, anybody who even bears a resemblance to someone who may have immigrated to this country is going to be afraid. People who just are triggered by the fact that the military is standing outside their polling place are going to be afraid. So Pam is right. It is illegal. As I said, it's illegal to have guards at polling places. It is voter intimidation, which is the point I'm making, that you're trying to get people not to vote. Because as we've seen, or as it appears, I will say, just to make sure that everybody is on the same page when we're trying to stay factual, it appears that if everybody gets to vote, the Republicans don't win. And so, to quote Lou Holtz, if they can't beat you straight up, they're going to try to beat you in other ways. And so that's it. Last year, the president deployed the National Guard to several Democratic-led cities, in some instances federalizing them against the will of governors who typically command the National Guard. He also sent active duty Marines into Los Angeles. That didn't turn out well. Opponents of the deployment expressed fears that they represented a test run for intimidating voters, and that is exactly what they did. It was a test run, in my opinion anyway. Now, Mark says having the National Guard there is fine if they are there to keep the peace and MAGA goons away. Also, then he says Trump's mob isn't mobilized in D.C., so the National Guard isn't needed. Yes, there's no need to have the National Guard out other than when he looks out the window, he can see more military personnel than normally surround the White House, which, they need guards at the White House. I get that. They need security. But, yeah. All right, listen, when we come back, are you in favor of Wisconsin judges being required to step aside in cases where campaign spending may raise impartiality questions? Oh, man, we went from pot talk and applesauce to serious government issues. That's the beauty of Daybreak here on the Civic Media Network.
We can do it all.
We can do it all, and we will do it all, Parker. Don't let them scare you away.
Oh, no.
Yeah, yesterday I was looking for any sort of non-political but kitchen table topics where it's like important stuff that's happening,
Sure.
but oh my gosh, just no, just getting away from politics. There's not much is happening, especially if you look at every Wisconsin newspaper. I love it. I love the fact that the front pages are all sports all the time. Like one of the
Especially on
most
the weekend, 'cause
political
we're like,
states
please,
in the
anything else.
union. The place that is focused on during elections all the time. And if you look at the State Journal, the Press Gazette, the Journal Sentinel, it's like, it's all sports,
Yeah.
which is
Well,
nice. It's nice
it
that people
is.
do need a break.
'Cause people need a break because the politics burns you out.
Oh, 100%.
It's just so much, so often.
Thank you for putting up the comments that come in on YouTube and stuff on there, because those I can see. I can't see them otherwise.
Sure thing. If you go in StreamYard on
Yes, yes.
on the right hand side of your screen, do you
Oh,
see?
where it says comments?
Yep, it's that one.
Oh, hello, Daddy.
Yeah.
There we go. Got
Yeah,
it.
yeah. And if you click on one of them, then it'll pop up on screen. If you click on it again, it'll go down.
If you click on it, wait.
If you click on one of the comments,
Oh, it'll go on the screen. Okay, on the
Yeah.
screen.
Yeah.
All right, I'll need to do that.
but yeah, if you start to read the name or in the comment, I'll pop it up for you if you want.
Perfect.
So yeah.
I'm amazed how, like at 6 a.m, we get engagement just because Frank mentions that he was looking for applesauce.
Hey,
And that's the kind of thing that's always the case. It's always that thing.
those are the real issues that matter. Where is the applesauce?
Right. It's something we can control. It's something everybody has done. We've all had to go to the grocery store for something and we weren't sure where it was.
Oh yeah. No, I told you. What was that before Easter? About how we forgot to get the gluten-free cake for my
Yes.
cousin.
Yeah.
And my mom remembered like 10 minutes before the store closed. I'm like, I'll go, but I won't be able to find it in time.
Yeah. But once
So-
you're in the door, they got to leave you there.
That's true. How many times can a man go up and down the aisles though before they go? All right, you're just not going to find it.
Why don't you
shoo.
just see? At that point, I'm asking,
Yeah,
where am I finding a gluten-free cake?
this is true.
Because I got to get out of here.
I don't want to be here. You don't want to be here.
Right.
We would all benefit by just going home.
That's why I try to stay. We have Jewel is the chain down here that I go to, and I'm close to a number of Jewels,
Yeah.
but I go to one
Sure.
unless there's
Best one?
an emergency. Well, it's the one I know the best.
Yeah.
It does have the brand of lunch meat that I like that
There you
another
go.
Jewel does not. So high end turkey. That's
Ooh, high end.
well, it's
Didn't know you were bougie like that, Mr.
only
Newman.
certain things I am bougie. I am bougie with my turkey
Yeah.
because I eat it every day for lunch, and I'm bougie with bagged ice. I must have bagged ice.
Okay. Are we talking like the little round like?
No,
I
just
want-
whatever ice is at the gas station
Oh,
or grocery
okay.
store.
You just won't
Just-
make it yourself.
I don't like. For years, my water was tasted funky, and then the ice is not clear. It's got all
Yep.
this sediment and
Yeah.
stuff in it. So
Yeah.
that is where I'm bougie. I have
This
to
just
have
in,
bagged ice.
News Talk Radio host Brian Noonan says he needs ice.
I do.
Needs ice.
This is not a want, Frank. This is a need.
Needs. Also, is it Boar's Head or Dietz and Watson that you have to
You
have?
know it's Boar's Head.
Okay, that's what I thought.
You know it's Boar's Head.
Just to prove to everybody that I do the grocery shopping.
Yep.
It's only somebody that goes grocery shopping would know any difference.
That's true.
All right, we got 10 seconds here.
And I've tried them all. Cajun or blackened. Those are the two.
Want to join in on the conversation? Call or text 855-75-CIVIC. Now back to Brian and Jamie.
Good morning. Yes, I'm Brian Noonan. Jamie isn't here. She's on vacation. I'll remind you that a few more times, or then maybe I'll just leave it as a mystery and you go, oh, what happened to Jamie? And then I don't know. Maybe I don't. Maybe I keep it from you. Maybe that's how I am. Everything cards close to the vest. No, that's not true. We're going to tell you Jamie's on vacation. She'll be back next week. All right. 855-75-CIVIC. 855-752-4842. Would you be in favor of Wisconsin judges being required to step aside in cases where campaign spending issues may come up and raise questions of impartiality? Now, the reason I ask that is because Wisconsin judges could be required to step aside from cases where previous campaign spending raises questions about their impartiality under a proposed rule up for consideration June 4th. Let me give you a little background, if I might. In 2010, a 4-3 conservative majority adopted rules written by the Wisconsin Realtors Association and Wisconsin Manufacturers and Commerce that say a judge, quote unquote, shall not be required to recuse based solely on an endorsement or a campaign contribution. Now, the next year, 2011, if you're keeping track at home, the court's conservative majority ruled that if a justice is accused of bias and asked to recuse, only the justice themselves can decide whether to stay on the case. That seems, a little harmless or toothless, that if there is an accusation, if the judge can just say, nope, not true, I'm going to back away. Then in 2017, the conservative-controlled court voted 5-2 to reject a proposal from 54 retired jurists to establish campaign contribution thresholds that would force a judge or justice off a case involving the donor, arguing it would impede free speech. As a result, the 2010 rules have remained in place, which brings us back to today. Now, if you heard that background and you're a little puzzled, join the club. So am I. I don't think I'm surprised that all the power to recuse sits with the judge themselves, because I'm guessing a judge doesn't want to have to recuse themselves, because that would show, in my opinion, and if it were me, if I were a judge, I'd never wear pants under the robe. But that's beside the point. Because, justice is heated, and I don't need to overheat. So, what was I saying? That I wouldn't wear pants. No, the important part of what I'm saying. If I were a judge, I would not want the appearance of impartiality. Even if somebody said, well, this could be a conflict of interest, maybe you should recuse yourself, I would take that as an affront to say, what do you mean? I'm not able to look at the law and make informed decisions based on that, despite who is standing in front of me at the bench? So I can see judges being a little hesitant. Well, now the state Supreme Court is going to hold a public hearing on the petition. It's been filed by a group of retired circuit court judges earlier this year, so June 4th is the day for this public hearing. Under the proposed rule, judges would be required to recuse themselves in a case where they know, or they reasonably should know, which is another nice loophole. How do I know? We know there's a lot of dark money coming in for campaigns. We hear it all the time from candidates on both sides of the aisle. Oh, I didn't know so-and-so was giving money, because so-and-so may give the money, as we've seen, to the state party. The state party then puts money in your campaign. You think it comes from the state. You don't go all the way back. Should every candidate, including a judge, track where all your campaign money comes from to avoid some of the surprises we see all the time? Yes, I would argue, but they don't. So anyway, there's your loophole. Reasonably should know that support for their candidacy, whether through direct contributions or through independent expenditures or issuance or issue advocacy groups, quote, raises a reasonable concern about the judge's ability to be impartial, end quote. I'm not sure reasonable concern is enough, but it is all we have in this case. So you have to look at it. All right, but what's the bar for reasonable? And I guess at the public hearing, the Supreme Court's going to argue or hear about this. What do you consider a reasonable concern about the judge's ability to be impartial? So the Supreme Court, under a different ideological composition now, we know there is a Democratic or a liberal majority, we should say, on the court. Not necessarily Democratic, but they are liberal. And we have a new Supreme Court justice elect that increases that liberal majority. They have rejected previous efforts to implement recusal rules for judges on cases involving their financial background. I don't know. I told you about the background of it. So let's get a little more into this current proposal. But what do you think? Is anything that raises a doubt at all a good enough reason to ask a judge to recuse themselves? Because if you look at it down the road, that's going to cut down on the number of appeals, which is going to clear up the court dockets a little bit. It puts everything above board. And the way money burrows itself into every aspect of our lives, including the law, unfortunately, it leaves a bad taste in your mouth if you find out that the judge is hearing a case. Now I'm just making up something about the energy companies in a data center. Let's just say a judge is hearing one of those cases. And then it comes out later that the energy company was a huge donor to either the state party or some other indirect method to this judge's campaign. Even if that judge rules correctly and follows the law, does that appearance of impropriety, the appearance of the fact that they could not be impartial, is that enough to once again take a little chip out of our faith in the system? It does open the door for, as I said, all kinds of appeals. Lynn's in Golden Valley. She's listening on WCFW. So Elon Musk can just donate $20 to all judges left and right, and they all need to recuse. Now, see, Lynn, this is where it gets confusing. And this is where the Supreme Court is going to have to really be very clear on what constitutes a reasonable concern about impartiality. Because when you put it that way, no, because then what judge is going to be left to hear the cases? But if it's somebody that Elon Musk or anybody donates $20,000 or more, or their PAC donates to the party and the party gives them that money, and it comes up and it becomes concerning, then yes, I think somebody should have to recuse. I think it would have to be, though, very serious and easy to make the connection between the money and the judge, and then yes, I think then they should have to. But not every judge, not every case, not every concern is going to be something that is worthwhile of getting a judge to recuse. So this change would also include factors to be considered in determining impartiality and a procedure for addressing recusals. So there you go. That is going to be the key. You can't expect anybody to follow rules that you have never given them. You can't expect guidelines to be followed when people don't know the guidelines. Once you spell it out and judges agree to it, then everybody's on a level playing field. Right now, they are not. Okay? When asked about a recusal at an October 23rd WisPolitics event, Chief Justice Jill Karofsky said the court should have formal rules and guidelines in place, and they should be discussed in a public hearing. We're having a little public town square hearing right now. But again, June 4th, if you have thoughts about this, you should go. This is where you actually are going to have input on what the state decides. So if you can, go to this. Karofsky is one of several liberal justices on the court who advocated stronger recusal rules in their campaigns, along with Justice Rebecca Dallett in her 2018 race, and Justice Janet Protasiewicz. I'm sorry, say it again. Protasiewicz. That was in 2023. See, yes. That's very good. Thank you, Parker with the tip and the assist. He gets 1 point and his hockey score. I am mixing up all sports with that little that commentary there.
Hey,
I went from hockey to basketball to everything. So there you go. That's what's happening. Now, I would be. This all comes to a head, and you know why it all comes to a head. Because of the unbelievable amount of money that has been spent on Wisconsin judicial races in the last few years. And yes, one of the big ones was last year when Elon decided he was going to try to buy Wisconsin's votes, and Wisconsin voters said, we don't think so. We're gonna just vote the way we want to. So thank you very much, but you're gone. And it has become alarming, and we've talked about it a lot, about how much money is being spent. And you always wonder, while we want the judges and we want our Supreme Court, we want them to be above the kind of greed and influence that money often brings to politicians through lobbying and contributions and everything else. We also know that judges, while they are learned in the law and impartial in most cases, are also human. And if there's room in the law to benefit one of their big donors, well, then legally and ethically, they can make that, they can bend things a little bit. They're not breaking anything. They're just bending the law just enough to make it work. I don't know. I like recusal rules. I also like that this hearing is going to go toward setting very firm, very clear guidelines that are going to set the stage for what could come. So don't forget, we'll let you know when it gets closer. June 4th is the public hearing. You are part of the public. You probably are concerned about this. If not, you should be a little bit. So I would say go to the public hearing if you get a chance and voice your opinions. Okay? Okay. All right, when we come back, this is, Parker, get Civic's legal team on the horn because I have beef. I think someone was listening to this program at its inception and stole an idea from us and is now profiting off of said idea.
Do you think?
Well, that's what I'm going to go with. Now, since I have not contributed any money to any judges' campaigns, they have no reason to help me out.
No.
I think the other side may have, the other side is big business, and they have money. So there may be some contributions and lobbying on their behalf. But we'll figure it out. And if you have no idea what I'm talking about, but you are curious, why is Brian going to sue big business? Well, I have to tell you that. I'll give you a hint. It ties into liquor, it ties into playoff hockey, and it ties into I think it was on Netflix or Netflix.
Is that what that's from?
I don't know, but I know it's a show either on
Some
Netflix.
kind of streaming.
I'll look it up. Yeah, it's a streaming program. All right. So there you go. There's the tease. We'll get to it more. I'm Brian Noonan. Jamie's on vacation, but we're still here, and this is Daybreak, and this is, in fact, the Civic Media Network.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes. I have no idea what that's on. I thought it was HBO.
I'm going to find out.
Some friends of mine were telling me to watch that, but I never got to it. Yeah, it's HBO.
It's HBO.
Yeah.
Yeah. I a lot of people love it. I just don't.
That's what they tell me.
I think I'm going to count on you to put up the.
Okay. I understand.
Thank you.
Yep.
I figured you would. Yes, the thing we're going to talk about. It looks crazy. Did you put that in, or did Frank put that in?
What?
Somebody dropped it. Somebody dropped it in the rundown. Oh no, Frank. Oh no, Frank put it in the chat. That's where I saw it. But Somebody added some stories yesterday. I was like, oh, these are good stories.
Oh, not I. I was pretty disconnected this weekend.
I don't blame you.
Yeah, we went down to my grandparents on Saturday. They had a little bit of water.
Oh.
So it wasn't bad at all. It was like, honestly, we didn't need to go down because my grandma did too much. We didn't need to go down.
Okay.
So,
well,
Those stubborn grandmothers, I tell you what.
I'll tell you what.
No, Brian, I put some stuff in Saturday because I knew
Okay.
yesterday I was going to be pretty busy. I was like, let me get some stuff done here.
Yeah, Saturday, I wanted nothing to do with it. Friday,
That's how I usually am.
Friday, I was trying to get my mom back home. And, and I figured, and stuff changes so fast.
Right.
Unless we start pulling some, bigger issue things that are not
Well, that's
time
why
sensitive.
I was like, well, these are good evergreen
Yes.
for where they are. The big stuff is going to be up to that point.
Yep. Oh my gosh. Excuse me. I went to, was it Friday night? Yeah, Friday night. I was so exhausted. I went to bed, I think at 8:30, and I didn't get up till 8:30 Saturday morning.
ooh, wow.
Good for you.
I was
Yeah.
beat, and having had the dogs all by myself last week and last weekend.
Oh, yeah.
Debbie got up with them on
Okay.
Saturday.
We got 10 seconds.
Now back to more of Daybreak with Brian and Jamie.
Welcome back. It is a Monday. Hope you're doing all right. 855-75-CIVIC, 855-752-4842 is how you get involved in the program. I'm Brian Noonan. Jamie is on vacation. Our crack producing team, Frank and Parker, are with me this morning. They'll be with me all week unless they decide to bail too. But
Meh.
really, who then would take your spot?
That's a great
Is there
point.
Nobody. This is
nobody?
for
This
Frank.
is
That's
it.
what I call job security.
Yeah, we're operating on shoestring staffing, but that's all right. We can always, at the end of the week, enjoy a cocktail. Or if we're going to a Flyers game in Philadelphia, we can get ourselves a nice cocktail too. But here's the thing. Before we get into this story, I got a beef because if you've been listening since the inception of this show, at the beginning of the show, we had two technical producers. We had Parker, and then we had some other kid that he's gone, so we don't even mention his name. He's like the Voldemort of producers. No, it's
R.I.P.
Dom.
He's still alive, just
Yeah,
Yeah.
not to
not
us.
not
Dead
to
to
the
us.
show.
Pour one out. He works for Nightlight now. He's their guy. He bailed on us quick. But anyway, so there were two of them. Parker and Dom were in the producer booth there, and I started calling it the Boyquarium, and it stuck. And we called it the Boyquarium, and we don't anymore because that would singles Parker out too much, and
I don't want to be a lone fish.
he might be triggered. He doesn't want to feel like a lone fish. He might go to HR, and then I got enough problems. I don't need that added to the list of problems. So imagine my surprise, Frank, when you send me a post the other day with a TikTok trend that's saying women refer to this to NHL teams and the hockey rinks as boy aquariums. Now, this is inspired, I guess, by the HBO show Heated Rivalry. Did you watch Heated Rivalry, Frank?
I didn't watch it. My wife loved it.
The ladies seem to really like it. And I want to be careful about saying that I didn't watch it because I don't want anybody to think I didn't watch it for certain reasons. But it's basically about a gay relationship within a hockey team, correct?
Yeah, it's actually if you watch hockey, the characters are basically based off of if Alex Ovechkin and Sidney Crosby had a secret relationship.
Wow.
Like one's Russian, one's Canadian.
Way out.
No, I'm being serious.
I know
it's
you
the
are.
It's the
I know
same.
it's based on a book. Yes.
It's the same type of hockey player.
Right.
Like they're rivals, like those two
Right.
players are. One's
Heated.
Russian, one's Canadian. Connect the dots.
All right. Well, they're connecting other things, which is, I think, the ladies did love this show. They loved it. So now, Aramark, who handles all the concessions at a lot of stadiums, they are going to offer the Boy Aquarium cocktail during the playoffs. It's a vodka, blue curacao, Sprite, and mango boba drink with a Swedish fish. It looks it's in a fish bowl, obviously, and boba is those tapioca pearls. I've never had boba.
Love boba.
Do you?
Boba's
You a big
delicious.
boba guy? Yeah.
Really?
I live in the city. There's boba tea shops everywhere.
But do they dissolve?
There's-
What do? You chew on them? What's the
There's
deal?
two
Are
of
they-
them. There's like the jelly boba, the ones you're talking about, and then
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
also popping boba, which are a lot like thinner, and they're just filled with like juice.
Okay, so what
Those
about
are
the
better.
yeah? What are the plastic boba? Why are you putting gravel in the bottom of your drink? What goes on with that?
Because it's fun.
But for
Why
what?
is my
do you
drink
eat it?
carbonated? Because
I
it's
don't know.
fun.
Do you eat it? Do
Yeah.
they? So you chew them?
No, it's not like a sunflower seed. You don't suck on it, spit it out.
And then spit out the plastic that contains
No,
the
eat
goo.
it.
You just eat it.
It's good.
Do they come
Brian,
up through the straw?
I'll bring you
I'm
a bubble
asking
tea.
questions. Do
No, I
they?
know.
All right. I don't know.
Yes.
All right. So anyway, this is the drink that's being sold. This is now we were doing. I don't know. Frank did the most specific job of describing heated rivalries. This is how our AI overlords describe heated rivalry. Is a Canadian drama series based on Rachel Reed's novel, focused on the secret years-long romantic relationship between Shane Hollander and Ilya Rozanov. As rival NHL stars, they navigate competition, media attention, and homophobia while transitioning from rivals to lovers, with the show exploring themes of love, denial, and self-discovery. And there is an Airbnb based on, I guess there's a cabin where they have their trysts, or they go to be alone, and you can rent out this Airbnb, and it is booked for like the next 2 years. I'm guessing mostly by bachelorette party groups.
Really? I mean, yeah, that's a prime location. It's like that and the Hannah Montana house in Malibu are like two prime bachelorette Airbnbs.
Wow, I don't know the Hannah
Can you
Montana
Airbnb
house.
the Hannah Montana house?
It was a thing for, it might have been just a special thing. They were only did it
Okay.
for like a couple of weeks.
Uh,
But yeah. And it
I
was
was
free.
going to say, now
You just had
Parker is
win
going to
the
put in
lottery.
for vacation.
Alicia
to go.
Bryan says, I told you about hockey arenas being called Boy Aquarium.
You
Which
may
she
have,
did.
Alicia. I'm not
She
saying
did.
you didn't. You
I wasn't
probably
positive.
did.
I can attest to this. She
All
did.
right. There's
you go.
listen.
Alicia was on it.
Well, all right. Let me raise this question then for all the politically correct people out there. Isn't Boyquarium a little offensive? What if we went to a ladies' hockey game and we called it,
Yeah, what are you
the
calling it?
Chick Dome,
Yeah.
The Chick Dome.
Dome. Wow.
or the lady
That would be good for like
repository?
women's like flag football or like arena football
The Chick Dome
in a dome. Chick Dome would be good.
just sounds like a double
It's
standard
sponsored
to
by
me,
Chick-fil-A.
Frank. I'm kidding. I'm kidding, by the way, in case anybody thinks I'm serious. I don't think it's offensive. Hockey players obviously don't. I don't know if they're embracing it. They're just kind of,
Who cares? They're
They're
getting paid
oblivious.
millions of dollars. They
Yeah.
don't care.
I'm ice skating. I'm playing hockey. You can call it the Boyquarium if you want. If it draws more ladies into the sport, either as fans of the NHL and then supporters of women's hockey, good. Bring them in. Let them go. And let them, I don't care if the ladies in the stands are just fantasizing the whole time, but who knows? All right, when we come back, it's headline time. There's news everywhere, and there's all kind of stuff you need to know, and we will be getting to it in the second hour of the program. And remember, you can always keep up to date on our social medias, Daybreak with Brian and Jamie.
All right.
I
All
remember
right, gang,
the
you know what
last
time
second.
it is?
Peanut butter jelly time.
It's coffee time.
It's coffee time. I'll be
Coffee
right back.
time. See you, Frank. It's coffee time for Frank.
Coffee.
Oh, I love coffee. Coffee. Brian Noonan, Sans co-host Jamie Martinson.
That's what I was gonna name it. I was thinking of that.
Daybreak with Brian Noonan sans Jamie Martinson. I don't listen. We could joke. I don't want to cause any.
No.
I don't. No. I enjoy. There is a difference between being confident you can do a show by yourself and enjoying having a co-host. And I am both. I'm confident, like a week like this. I know I can do the show by myself. I enjoy doing it with a co-host more.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Easier.
It's more interesting. It's more interesting to have a conversation. That's why I keep pushing for more conversation. It's just more interesting. And I think it's more interesting for listeners too. Like you guys jumping on, then we're having a conversation.
Yeah.
Me droning on. It also, it's egomaniacal to think that your opinion, and I know that's the whole point of this business, and the fact that I've been doing it so long would cement the fact that I am in fact egomaniacal. But the fact that people should want to listen to what you have to say. And I feel that on stage too when I'm doing stand-up. I'm like, where do I get the audacity to stand up here and think I could? But I do, and I love it.
Talk at people.
Yeah, just talk at people and expect them to find what I say funny. And they do, but it's weird. It's a weird thing.
It's a mindset. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You got to have huevos grande. That was not cultural appropriation, in case our AI overlord is listening.
No.
I was talking about my breakfast order. I mix humor with a touch of civic responsibility. Wow, look at that. Urging listeners to engage with the judicial recusal debate. Oh, and I humorlessly claimed credit for the phrase's newfound popularity. Boyquarium, brouhaha, and judicial jitters. Wow.
Brouhaha.
A brouhaha.
Underused word.
Have raised a kerfuffle.
Uh-oh.
That's right.
Don't want to ruffle any feathers.
Oh, God forbid we ruffle any feathers. So how was, there wasn't a lot of damage at Grandma and Grandpa's?
No, they, it's the same spot that it has previously. Just in the basement, seeped in a little bit. But no real damage. Just to her knees, probably.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, she'll be feeling it today.
Yeah, no. So we got there and we got into the basement and there were like 2 or 3 towels on the floor. And we picked up the towels.
So it wasn't full. It wasn't full of water.
No, no. I think she was doing it like as it was coming in, I think, the previous night. She had a tub, like a Tupperware container that was one of the big ones, Rubbermaids rather.
Yeah.
And it had maybe 1.5 to 2 inches of water in the bottom of that.
Oh, where she'd been wringing the towels out?
Yeah.
Okay.
So she'd been doing a ton.
Jeez.
But yeah.
It's hard not to when you got water seeping in, even if you know people are coming to help. It's like, I want to get a jump on this.
No, yeah. And that's just how she is. She has to take care of
stuff. Well, that makes sense.
So, yeah.
I think I found a tick on me this morning.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's not good.
No, I don't know how. It was on my chest. Last night I was going to bed. I saw this thing on my chest, and I kind of flicked it. I thought, oh, maybe it's a piece of fuzz from my sweatshirt or something.
Sure. Yeah.
And it didn't come off, and I was like, whatever. And I went to sleep. So I get up this morning, it's still there, and I go to try to get it off, and it won't come out. And I'm like, what the?
Yeah, burr or something.
I finally got it, and I yanked it out, and then I'm looking at it. Now, it was teeny tiny, so I was having a hard time seeing it.
Sure.
But then I did see legs coming out of it.
Ooh.
And I'm like, oh. Now, I have not been bare-chested running through the woods like a nymph
No.
ever, really. And
Okay.
I haven't done yard work. I didn't do any yard work this weekend. And I don't even pet the dogs with it's not like I'm hugging the
I
dogs.
was going to say, the must have been one of the dogs brought it in, and it just,
or it
who
came
knows how
in,
long it was around.
Yeah, or it came in on my pants, maybe from taking the dogs out and back. But it's just the grass. It's not like we're walking through the woods.
Huh.
So now I'm sure I have Lyme disease.
I'll be fine. All right, we got 10 seconds till we're back.
From Lake Superior to Lake Michigan, this is Wisconsin's Morning Conversation. Daybreak with Brian and Jamie.
Good morning. Glad you are here. 855-75-CIVIC, 855-752-4842 is how you get involved. I am Brian Noonan. Jamie's on vacation. She will return. I'm not going to tell you when. That's really none of your concern. She'll be back next week.
That feels ominous, Brian.
What's that, Parker?
That feels ominous, Brian.
It does feel ominous. She is coming back. She is just on vacation. But let's be honest, Parker, because I know she's listening. Good morning, Jamie. How are you? We hope you're enjoying your time off. She doesn't take time off.
Please
She's
stop
going to be
working.
listening. She's going to be critiquing. There'll be notes. She'll come back Monday with a whole tome of things about the show from this week and all the show stuff that she wanted to do this week that she didn't get a chance to because she's on vacation, and which will be nice because she'll come back with like 5 shows worth of stuff for next week.
That's true, and then you won't have to do anything
I
all
won't
next
have to
week.
do anything except it'll all be like a week old news. So not with her. She'll be up
Better
to
late
date.
than never.
Exactly. Some things age well. Not the war, though. We're in 7th week of the war, and we do have headlines coming out of the Middle East. Yesterday, the U.S. military fired on and seized an Iranian-flagged cargo ship, the MV Tuska. It was trying to run a U.S. blockade of Iranian ports. The U.S. Central Command said that naval experts both said that Tuska will be taken into an anchorage or port for inspection. Once that is done and its cargo is determined, they said it could eventually become property of the U.S. government as a, quote, prize. Like the spoils of war, that old saying, it's true. So now we have seized this. They haven't said what's in there. They have confirmed that the cargo ship is carrying cargo, but they won't know what exactly is in it until they get it into the port for inspection. Well, Iran, as you can imagine, is not happy about this. They have vowed to retaliate after the U.S. Navy fired on and seized that cargo ship. Once the safety of the families and crew of the vessel is ensured, that according to Iranian state media, which is why Iran has said that is why they did not push back harder when the ship was fired upon and boarded, because there was crew members' families in there. They're not exactly where the crew is from, whether they will be repatriated or detained. If they are Iranian crew members, there is a chance that they will be detained by the U.S., but a lot of it is still up in the air. And another headline, the seizure has cast doubt on a second round of negotiations planned for this week in Pakistan because, as you remember, the ceasefire only goes until Wednesday, the 22nd. So ceasefire ends. We don't know yet. The talks were planned. The vice president and top U.S. officials are expected to travel to Islamabad today, but Iran's foreign ministry insists there are no plans for the talks, and it's hard to have peace talks with only one side. So we'll see what happens on that today. And finally, the talks face key sticking points, including control of Iran's uranium stockpiles and the reopening of the Strait of Hormuz, where we all know 20% of the world's oil comes through, a lot of it going to China and other places, and global energy supply has been choked for weeks. This morning, the latest I saw in the updates were there were 2 ships in the strait, just 2. So, and you know that Iran is now charging tolls for their ships, so they are being enriched. And it bears repeating, and I will repeat it because, as I said, it bears repeating, that the Strait of Hormuz was wide open 7 weeks ago. Wide open. As part of the deal that was negotiated years ago by President Obama. But now it's closed. It has forced the U.S. military to engage in a blockade. It is causing oil prices to go up. Now, yesterday oil prices dipped, but they went up again this morning. Not back to over $100 a barrel, but they did go up 5.5%, I think this morning was the number I saw. So back up to $87, $88 a barrel for crude. And, it went down yesterday because we said we won again. All right, that's enough from the Middle East, but I am sure there is more stuff we need to know.
It's a wake-up call in more ways than one. Time for some you need to know.
Oh, all right. Well, there is stuff we need to know. And this goes back to something we were just talking about. The president has said the U.S. Forcibly seized an Iranian flag cargo ship and tried to get around a naval blockade near the Strait of Hormuz yesterday. The first such interception since the blockade of Iranian ports began last week. On social media, the president said the ship was warned by a U.S. Navy guided missile destroyer in the Gulf of Oman to stop, but it did not. He said the Navy, quote, stopped them right in their tracks by blowing a hole in their engine room, and that U.S. Marines had custody of the vessel named Tuska and were seeing what's on board. It is good to know that the president takes such joy out of blowing things up and putting our service members in jeopardy. There's no immediate Iranian comment. The news threw into question the early announcement that U.S. negotiators would head to Pakistan on Monday. Well, we know the U.S. negotiators are still going to Pakistan. We don't know if any Iranian negotiators are going to Pakistan. And we'll see. Washington and Tehran remain in a standoff over the strait. We'll see if any talks happen before Wednesday. We will see if the ceasefire gets extended. So many things to see with this negotiation in this war of choice. All right. Now, we mentioned this on Friday, that this was going to happen, and we mentioned the Dane County Sheriff talking to, Calvin Barrett is his name, talking to potential protesters. So about 1,000 animal welfare activists who tried to gain entry Saturday to a beagle breeding and research facility in Wisconsin were turned back by police who fired rubber bullets and pepper spray into the crowd and arrested the group's leader. It was the second attempt in as many months by protesters to take beagles from Rigland Farms. That facility is in Blue Mound, about 25 miles southwest of Madison. You know that. Dane County Sheriff Calvin Barrett said in a video statement that 300 to 400 protesters were violently trying to break into the property and assault officers. He said protesters have ignored designated areas for peaceful protest and blocked roads to prevent emergency vehicles from entering. Quote, this is not a peaceful protest, Barrett said. And if you remember when we talked about this on Friday, the sheriff had said, listen, you can protest, but you can't break the law. And when you storm into a place and trespass, and when you try to destroy facilities or equipment, that is against the law. And no matter what you're feeling on the issue, the law is the law. The state, now, you can take this for what it's worth. State inspectors have been in there as they are required to be. The sheriff had said they will make sure everything was above board. If they've set up places to protest, protesters are encouraged. I would say if you feel that strongly, go and protest. But you can't break the law. And I'm not saying that you can't yell and scream. I'm not saying that, you can't do what you have to do, but you can't destroy things and hope that nothing happens to you. You have to remember that you are going to be held accountable for this. A significant number of people were arrested. The reports this morning say about 25 people were arrested out of about 1,000 protesters at the site. The exact total was not known at the time, but it is known now, as I mentioned, 25. Protesters tried to overcome barricades that included a manure-filled trench. How dedicated do you have to be? And this is, listen, tip of the hat. I'm not, if you're going to crawl over a manure-filled trench, it sounds like something out of Shawshank Redemption. hay bales, and a barbed wire fence. Some protesters did get through the fence but were unable to enter the facility, where an estimated 2,000 beagles are kept, according to the Wisconsin State Journal. So again, protesting, good. Destroying property, you're crossing a line, and there's no surprise then that you're going to be arrested. The Energy Secretary, Chris Wright, has acknowledged yesterday that it might not be until 2027 before gas prices come back under $3 a gallon. It's amazing how fast we get used to things. I paid $4.26 the other day, and I thought I was getting a deal. So Chris Wright was asked by Jake Tapper on CNN's State of the Union when he thought, quote, it's realistic for Americans to expect the gas will go under $3 a gallon, to which Wright replied, I don't know, that could happen later this year. That might not happen until next year. He then maintained, without elaborating or giving any facts, that it's realistic for Americans to expect the gas will go back under $3 a gallon. I don't know. That could happen. He said prices are likely peaked and they'll start going down. Again, he had no proof. He didn't elaborate how he knew this. He said a conclusion to the war with Iran would see energy prices go down. Then Tapper pressed him, and he said, well, what do you mean 2027? Because the Trump administration said they were going to go by December. They're going to get back down. Under $3 a gallon is pretty tremendous in inflation-adjusted terms, Wright answered. He had that in the Trump administration, but we haven't seen it in inflation-adjusted times for quite a long time. We'll get back there, though, for sure. Just for reference, gas prices were at $2.98 a gallon in the days before the start of the war and $3.98 a gallon on average in late March. And it just keeps getting worse. And the final piece of stuff you need to know for this morning, for this hour anyway. Former Wisconsin man sentenced to 20 months in a federal prison for illegal campaign contributions. A federal judge has sentenced a former Wisconsin man to 20 months in prison for funneling hundreds of thousands of dollars into domestic political campaigns after moving to another country and renouncing his U.S. citizenship. But he still was sending money. Court records show U.S. District Judge James Peterson sentenced Roger Hoffman last week. He also ordered Hoffman to pay a $150,000 fine. Hoffman's attorney did not respond to AP's request seeking comment, but we do know that Hoffman is a 70-year-old self-employed investor originally from Madison. He became a citizen of the Caribbean nation of St. Kitts and Nevis in January 2009, and that's according to a grand jury indictment handed down in 2021. He renounced his U.S. citizenship in July of that year. Well, he still was moving money. He moved more than $400,000 to state and federal elections in the U.S. over more than a decade, using an assistant identified in court documents only as MW. He pleaded guilty in September to a single count of making illegal donations in a deal with prosecutors, agreeing that they would be able to prove he made about $345,000 in illegal federal campaign contributions between 2010 and 2020. And I know you're waiting, Brian. Who was he donating to? Was it Republicans? Was it Democrats? Was it everybody? Unfortunately, it is unclear which candidates or political parties received money from him. So depending on where you sit, you're probably in your mind blaming the other side, but we don't know that for sure, so we have to just go with it. All right. Those are things and part of the S you need to know on a Monday morning. When we come back, it is time for Swipe or Stay. I saw so many headlines as I was prepping the show. I did not delve into any stories, so I really have no knowledge of what Frank has cooked up for us during Swipe or Stay, but it's always a fun segment, so be sure you stick around. Parker, I guess you're going to have an equal vote today. That's what I'm guessing. It's going to be up to Frank,
maybe.
But if it were up to me, it'd be, we got to have two votes, unless I am going to have ultimate authority.
That's what I thought. I thought it was a dictatorship.
I like that. I like the sound of that. So we'll find out all about that when we come back. It is Daybreak. I'm Brian Noonan, and this is the Civic Media Network.
unlimited power.
I am omnipotent.
As you guys can see on the live stream, rule number 1 as a producer is you never let your talent get too much power. Because once that happens, you're screwed.
That's right.
Once Pandora's box is open, you can't close it.
That's a good point.
No, and Pandora then is your slave.
That's right. Parker is going to have an equal vote.
Whoa!
And I will be the tiebreaker.
No.
No.
You should recuse yourself.
You're not. Yeah, you're not going to swipe on your own stories.
After this weekend, I might.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Hola Mazzole.
Couple of stories we're not too happy about, Craig.
Not
Sometimes
not
you gotta
happy.
fill.
It's just there's not.
Some are always lesser. I get it.
I'm gonna be doing. I'm gonna be doing this. The old, the old stretch.
The old stretch.
Stretcheroo.
The old
Gotcha.
stretcheroo.
Well, knowing that you have to stretch, we're getting right into it.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, Swiper Stay.
All right, Swiper Stay. Here's story number 1.
Why is he going so fast?
Why is he getting right
He talks so fast.
Yeah, Brian Noonan, I swear.
I would have people always tell me talk slower. I just told them listen faster.
Is that really a note you got?
I would from listeners. You talk too fast. I go then listen.
Oh, really?
Fast. Yeah, you need to slow down. No, you. So that was for a while. That was our tag. Listen faster.
I like that. Slow down there.
Nope. Pick up your own pace.
You got 1 speed, man.
Yeah,
My speed.
I got my speed.
I'm trying to go a little slower today.
I think you're doing a great job.
Stop it.
You'll get a gold star.
Gold star,
I
no
am
demerits.
all powerful. I'm the Ozymandias of radio.
When do you think we're getting the Doomsday trailer?
Oh, I don't know. I hope so. I hope soon. Have you been watching?
10 seconds.
Let's break out of the bubble and see what's happening out there in pop culture. It's Swiper Stay on Daybreak.
Take it away, Frank. No, I'm kidding. Yes, this
You're
is
funny.
Swiper Stay. This is Daybreak. And this is where Frank comes in with some obscure pop culture headlines, and we decide what's happening. I just gave the rules, Frank, but I'd like you to do it. It is your game. How are you?
Say, I'll do the rules too.
Yeah, I
I'm
don't-
I'm doing well. It's a beautiful Monday morning. It looks nice out, but don't worry. I checked the forecast and clear skies and sunny all week
Yay.
until the weekend when we're free to do whatever we want. And then there's rain in the forecast.
And it's scary that it's only 7:23 and we're looking forward to the weekend.
I actually don't do with this job. I don't do that too much. I
No.
feel like I'm constantly looking at the news, even on the weekends. But
Yes.
I don't
There's no
feel like
break.
I don't feel like it's too daunting of a task. But anyway, we're gonna put that on the back burner. We're gonna play Swiper Say, even though
Yeah,
Jamie's
yeah.
not here. So I'll go over the rules. They're modified a little bit. I'm gonna read some pop culture headlines. Brian and Parker are going to have to decide whether to stay or swipe on to the next one. In the event of a tie, I get to be the tiebreaker this time.
Okay, don't get all crazy.
I'm just letting everybody know I'm laying down the law.
I think I should just have ultimate power. No
I told
checks
the
and
live stream
balances.
I told the live stream listeners, rule number 1 of executive producing, never let the talent have too much power. As we move on to story number 1, Oscar and Grammy winner lives out childhood dream at Coachella.
They've won an Oscar and a Grammy. How many childhood dreams could they have left? I'm going to stay.
Parker?
I'm swiping. I assume I know what this is about. I saw the video. I don't need to know more.
It's short. So we're going to stay because I'm going to choose to stay. This is nice. I like
told
this.
you he's gonna pick all his own
now
stories.
now the producer has all the power, which they
That's
normally
right,
do
because
anyway.
I chose this story as number 1.
Right.
It's what happened over the weekend. We had
Well,
a
let's
very
go. What's up?
Billie Eilish
Oh.
had a dream come true this past weekend at Coachella. And she didn't even perform, guys. Is this who you were thinking of, Parker?
No, I saw.
I thought it was
Madonna.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Madonna, yeah.
No, it is not that.
Oh.
Although Madonna sounded great. If you haven't listened to it, it might be the best she sounded in years. But anyway, Billie Eilish was pulled on stage during Justin Bieber's set, and he sang the song One Less Lonely Girl to her. So let me give you the backstory to this.
Please do.
I was told by my wife and former person who had Bieber fever back in the heyday that for all his concerts, he would always pull a girl on stage and serenade this song to her.
Wow.
And Billie Eilish, when she was younger, had Bieber fever bad and was a huge fan. So Justin Bieber's wife, Hailey Baldwin, kind of pushed her onto the stage, and they kind of set this up. Okay. And she was so bashful that this was happening. And I was thinking about it. Even though you're a megastar, like your childhood person still would make you blush, right?
Yeah, probably.
No matter what.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I've met plenty of celebrities and athletes, but there are certain
Nice
people
flex,
where
Frank.
I would,
Yeah.
thank you. But there are certain people where I just wouldn't act right around.
No, I get
Brian,
that.
do you have one?
I'm trying to think. I too have met some people. Have I ever gotten goofy around anybody? I probably don't say enough to let myself get to that point.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm trying. I know I have. I know I've been. I've met somebody and there's been butterflies and that kind of stuff. But I can't recall at this moment because I'm a jaded old man, Frank.
Parker, one day it'll happen to you too.
One day. I'll keep dreaming.
Grammy nominee gets into fight at fast food restaurant.
Pass.
Oh,
Swipe.
come on.
Swipe.
It's a fight. Stay.
We're staying. Hey-o. Look at that. 2 for 2 from producer Frank with the tiebreakers. Female rapper Ice Spice got into a fight at a McDonald's.
Yeah.
I am
Please,
not
it's
talking
McDonald's.
It is the McDonald's, and I'm not talking about a verbal altercation, Brian. I'm talking fisticuffs.
Really?
Security cameras show a woman going up to Ice Spice's table with her and her friend, leading to a heated altercation. Apparently, the fan wanted to sit with them.
Oh, okay.
To which
Can't
Ice
do that.
Spice told her to, hit the road.
Buzz off.
The fan threw a punch at Ice Spice, and all hell broke loose. There is a screenshot. I didn't get to watch the full video. There's no audio. But there's a screenshot of Ice Spice standing on the table at McDonald's with a right hook coming over the top. And it's great.
It's
All
an
right,
awesome video.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
If you're a Grammy winner, not why
Nominee.
are you eating McDonald's, a Grammy nominee, not why are you eating McDonald's, why are you eating at a McDonald's?
So that was my takeaway from this too, and I'm glad you brought this up, Brian. But if I reach that level of fame, you have to remember Ice Spice is part of like the Taylor Swift crew.
Is she? I don't know.
Yes,
Ice Spice.
Ice Spice has sat in multiple suites to watch Travis Kelce play. Like she's a part of
All
that
right.
traveling crew because they collaborated on a song together. If I reach that level of fame, you will never catch me sitting down and eating at
Not
any
a
fast food
chance.
establishment, especially a McDonald's.
Oh my God! And when I drive through, my driver orders for me.
That's what I mean.
I'm not even talking to the clown or the speaker, or the donkey or whatever they have out in their drive-through.
Yes, right now, not sure about any charges being
Wow.
filed. We're still waiting.
Has
on an
Taylor
update.
weighed in on it?
She is not.
All right.
She's not going to. Are
I
you
await her
nuts?
comments.
Former Disney Channel star holds trespasser at gunpoint.
All right, I'm down with a gunpoint trespasser.
Real quick, we're staying.
Real quick, Dylan Sprouse, the 33-year-old actor, confronted an alleged trespasser on his property. Someone tried robbing his house. Sprouse came out with a gun, held the trespasser at gunpoint until the cops came.
Who's Dylan Strauss?
Sweet Life of Zach and Cody, one of the twins.
Oh,
come
okay.
on.
He was also in
That's-
Big Daddy with
that's my
Adam
prime.
Sandler.
I'm sorry, Parker.
Parker's Prime.
Parker finally knows. Parker finally
That's
knows. So
Swiper
Frank,
Stay.
that's Swiper Stay. Thank you so very much. Another yeoman's job. Are you willing to try new health procedures? You may be able to in Wisconsin. We'll talk about it on the Civic Media Network.
Dylan Sprouse.
Get
Come
that.
on.
That was your prime. Hold on. That's where you're going
That's
to
your
scold Brian over
Yeah.
Sweet Life of Zach and Cody.
Damn right.
You haven't seen a
Sweet-
damn movie that has won any award or anything.
Sweet Life was awesome.
But Sweet Life of Zach and Cody is the hill you're going to die on.
Didn't they go on a boat at some point too?
There was Sweet Life on deck.
Sweet
on
Life
deck.
on deck. See, I knew
Yes.
that. And if you had said the actor from Sweet Life of Zach and Cody, I would have known what it was.
The
But
twins.
I'm not, no, pass.
Great show.
And I think the brother is the one that's had like a
Great show.
actual acting career
Okay.
past that. I think Cole.
That sounds familiar. I don't
Like
I think
Riverdale
so.
and
Yeah, he has been in other stuff.
yeah. Those damn Disney Channel stars. Come on, how do you pass on Grammy nominee fighting at a McDonald's? The sheer fact that they're sitting at a McDonald's,
Just because
dine in.
I know, but it just these people, these Grammy nominees, everybody's fighting. Everybody
Who's
wants to
sitting at a McDonald's? I don't
That's
sit
the
at a
question.
McDonald's, and I'm 31.
Oh my God! I think the last time I ate in a fast food restaurant. Oh no, I shouldn't say that. One night, Debbie wanted to go to Culver's, and the closest one it's too far to bring the food back.
Culver's high class.
I guess
I think Culver's is what it's so
Culver's is a
different.
dine-in,
Culver-
yeah, more of a
Culver's
Yeah.
is a great dine-in spot.
yeah,
They bring the food to you.
correct.
Yeah.
You finish your meal, and as you're walking out, you're like, "What's the flavor of the day? What custard do I want?"
Oh, I do that before the meal so I can think about it.
Yeah.
My whole pork tenderloin sandwich.
Yep. And then you finish like your sandwich, then you go order the ice
Yep.
cream, the custard, sorry, and then finish your fries, and then
Yep.
it's there right when you're done.
We're gonna talk about this at the end of the show too, so I don't want to talk too much about Culver's.
All right.
Are we?
Yes.
Well, because it goes to that burger thing. Because I have
yeah.
thoughts on
I knew
So
the
let's-
three of us would have strong thoughts on this.
thoughts. Many thoughts. There's your tease for show within the show to stay around till 8:50.
But no, I would absolutely, even if I was famous, I'd have no issue sitting down at a Culver's. I think
If I'm
random
famous, I don't
McDonald's-
want to sit down anywhere.
No, I get that.
But
But,
yeah,
Okay.
no, I would not.
given the circumstances,
It looked like it was like 1 a.m. also. I don't think she was expecting to really. have to
even
deal
more
with
so,
Even
I am
then.
not getting my sweats on and sitting at a McDonald's.
No.
It's the dine-in portion, Parker.
Yeah, it's not the
getting
food.
McDonald's.
Oh,
I
cool.
love McDonald's.
Yeah,
Alright.
getting
I
McDonald's.
hope they sponsor us. I
No,
want.
no.
Yeah.
I want the golden arch in the corner next to our Daybreak logo.
It's my favorite road trip breakfast.
Is it?
Yes.
Best here. Another
Because I don't
thing.
want to. I don't want to stop and sit somewhere, so I'm getting the bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit,
Yes,
and I'm rolling.
Okay. All right.
dude. Sausage McMuffin at an at O'Hare Airport at 6 a.m. waiting for that first flight out is like
Hits.
ready to start your vacation.
Yeah, I throw no shade on fast food, but I don't want to sit in there.
No,
Okay. That's fair.
Even the other day, I was going to see my mom, and I was starving. And I went through Burger King. I would never have thought I'm going to go in and sit down at Burger King. I got it. I ate it in the parking lot.
Never by myself. No.
Oh, see, I got past eating by myself years ago because of being on the road. I would go into. It was weird at first going into a restaurant by yourself.
Sure.
I still don't like it, but I will
Yeah.
do it.
I suppose, though, depending on the fast food restaurant, it's good people watching if you go in by yourself.
I don't
no,
want.
they're all watching you because you're alone.
Yeah, and they're
Yeah.
like, "Who's this smarty pants weirdo?" Now, the only place I go in, Frank, I thought of you the other day. I
Yeah.
had to go into a Panda Express. I didn't have to. I chose to go into a Panda Express to get the double protein plate one day when I was
course.
out running errands. And that I can't eat in the car. You got to eat Chinese food, or at least the double protein plate because
Yeah.
it's rice and vegetables.
All right.
Got to eat that sitting down.
Agreed.
15 seconds till we're back.
Lots to get to.
Local news, community stories, and the conversations that matter most. Now, more Daybreak with Brian and Jamie.
Good morning. Glad you're here. Brian Noonan, all by myself. Oh, the sadness, all by myself. Jamie's on vacation this week, but you can keep me company at 855-75-CIVIC, 855-752-4842. That's how you jump in. When it comes to your health or the health of a loved one, how willing are you to try a new health procedure? The reason I'm asking that is because if you are battling cancer, there are certain types of procedures and treatments that you can get. Well, a new treatment is coming to two of Wisconsin's biggest health systems. And I'm wondering if your doctor recommends this, and we could make it for anything. I'm a big believer in if a doctor recommends it and it's a test, and even if there's a good chance that it will help me, I'm going to follow the doctor's orders. One, because to be honest, I think doctors are more intelligent on a number of issues, mainly medical issues, than I am. No matter how much research I would do on my own, the doctors are going to know more. So I trust them. And if you choose not to trust doctors, well, that's on you. Good luck with that. But anyway, here's the deal. So these two health systems are going to launch this new cancer therapy program. Two doctors specializing in radiation therapy say the relatively rare treatment program is another valuable tool to treat a variety of malignant tumors, and this is according to reporting from WPR. So last month, Froedtert Hospital and the Medical College of Wisconsin treated its first patient using a form of cancer treatment called proton therapy. Yes. The treatment uses a machine the size of a building to target cancerous tumors by accelerating proton particles to nearly the speed of light and aiming those particles at specific parts of the body. If you understood even half of the words that I just said to you, congratulations. You got half more words than I do other than size of a building. I got that. So obviously this is rare because building one of these things costs, the estimates were about $100 to $200 million. That's according to a 2023 review. It is costly, as you can imagine. So the professor and chair of the Department of Radiation Oncology at Froedtert and the Medical College of Wisconsin, Dr. William Hall is his name. He said, it's almost like a science fiction type situation that we take these particles and we can deposit them in such precise way to target malignant tumors. Now, let's sidebar for a minute and just live with the fact that we live in a time where there are people with such brilliance and such imagination and foresight that they can even develop something like this. Because it wasn't all that long ago that if you got cancer, you were just dead. That was just how it went. And now, we've seen medical advancements throughout the years, all different treatments, and people's lives are being prolonged, and they're going on to live healthy lives and doing very well. But now we've got this thing where you're taking protons and you're targeting them and you're shooting them into it. It's unbelievable. And this is why anytime somebody talks about not believing the science, I judge those people harshly. Because how do you not believe science when science is responsible for something like this? When science is responsible for pretty much everything that has gone on in public health that has made our lives better. If you don't believe in science, what are you doing here? I don't know if you watch The Pit. The Pit is an HBO show set in a hospital, stars Noah Wiley. I'm a big fan. They had, on their final episode, they had a woman come in who was doing a free birth. And I don't want to get into an argument about free birth, but basically there's no medical assistance at all. Well, the woman was sick, and she was like, I don't want any of this. It's free birth. And the doctor's like, then why are you here? Like, why are you here then? That's the way it goes. Okay, so the treatment can target a tumor, listen to this, down to the millimeter, while depositing less radiation to surrounding systems. There's about 50 proton therapy centers nationwide. That's according to the National Association for Proton Therapy, which does sound made up. That just sounds, it sounds made up. But the Food and Drug Administration approved proton therapy all the way back in 2001. A 2023 review found it can be particularly useful as to treat children with cancer. So again, science, excellent. Again, like I mentioned, well, it's very expensive. So that's why there's not that many around. So Froedtert and the Medical College of Wisconsin, they have started theirs. They're ready to go. Now, you might say, well, what about, you mentioned 2, that's 1. Yes, UW Health is launching their proton therapy later this year. They are close behind Froedtert. They're sent to launch later. Dr. Benjamin Durkee, who is a radiation oncologist at UW Health and the medical director of UW's proton therapy program, told WPR that the health system is set to launch its own proton therapy this year. He said that while treatment should be tailored to each individual patient, there is evidence that proton therapy could benefit seniors being treated for certain types of head and neck cancers. That's good news. So we've got both ends of the demographics if you're paying attention, and I hope you are. So the FDA said this proton therapy, particularly good for children with cancer. And then UW is saying it's also really good for seniors. Now, when asked about whether insurance will cover proton therapy, that is the big question, obviously, for every procedure. Dr. Durkee said doctors can prove the treatment will be helpful by running simulations to determine the best type of radiation treatment to provide. Didn't really give the answer about insurance, but we all know if insurance doesn't have to pay, they won't. If they do, I'm doing something now where, you got to get the pre-approval, even though the doctors all say, yes, this is a procedure you need, but it all comes down to who's going to pay for it. And quite frankly, the cost of everything medical-wise is so high that I don't want to pay for it myself. I don't want to do it. Parker, would you submit to experimental therapy? Now, this is not quite experimental, but it's brand new here in Wisconsin.
Yeah.
If it's something, if the doctor said, hey, we got this new thing, it's proven pretty well to be effective for the kind of cancer you have. Would you take it, or would you go, I don't know?
I think I would. I think that anything that would help me get better is kind of the goal, right? Because you just want to be doing all right. So I think I'd be all in for that kind of stuff. I do have a harder time saying yes for somebody else. Like if a family member were to have something and wasn't in a position to make that decision themselves, I don't know if I could say that for them necessarily. I don't know. But for myself, I certainly would.
See, and I'm in that position because, and I like a lot of people my age, you're taking care of your older parent. And I have medical power of attorney. I don't handle the money, but I handle the medical part. And if it came to that, I know what my mom wants. She was. This is a tip for everybody as they get older, and I need to take my own advice. Have it all written down. Have a will, a living will. Have everything done. So I know what my mom wants, which makes it a little easier. But it still comes down to, that's a treatment. She may not want to be on machines to extend her life that way, but does she want to do something to keep her alive? Well, yeah, but then it comes down to, like you're saying, Parker, you got to make that decision. Does this fall under extraordinary measures, or is this something that is going to do her more good than it is harm? And that's when you have to trust your doctors and you sit down and try to make that decision with them. But it is, I do default. Boy, I don't want to be that old guy. Oh, I'm having another thing. But I'm having something done Wednesday after the show. And when I was in the doctor's office, they were like, well, we could do this and this and this. I'm like, well, tell me, is it necessary? Because I'll be honest, I've always, in my whole life, and I'm sure I'm like a lot of you, I've been a little skeptical of, oh, we got to run some tests. I treat my body like I treat my car. If it's still moving, a little preventative maintenance, you know. I try to diet right. I try to keep active. I keep oil in my car. I don't do a lot of preventative maintenance. So when I hear from the doctor, we got to run a bunch of tests, it's not really my thing. But now, and Parker, God willing, you will reach this age sometime when you realize, man, I need more preventative maintenance than I used to. When I was your age, I didn't need any preventative maintenance. I actually did damage on purpose. But, you know, because I figured I was invincible. I was going to live forever. Then I get to this age. Frank is telling me I can't be all knowing and all powerful on our bits, and the body is falling apart. And so I got to keep moving on to something else. But now, like this doctor, I said, is it really necessary? Is it going to make a difference? And he said, yes, for what you're here for, it'll help us rule out anything else. We think we know the problem, but this will help us, you know, be sure. And I'm like, all right, fine. Plus now my wife gets involved. And if I come home and they go, they wanted me to have this test, but I decided not to, she will not be happy with me because as much as she will make when I croak with my life insurance, she still likes me around to do the lawn maintenance and things like that. You know, I catch the mice in the basement. You know what? You know what it costs to call in an exterminator? A lot more than telling me to go to the hardware store, get a couple old traps, and hit the basement. I serve a purpose, Parker. A lot of people can't pinpoint their purpose. I can pinpoint my purpose. I kill the mice, I cook the dinner, I cut the grass. That's 3 purposes if you're keeping track. That's a lot more than a lot of people have. Wow. A lot of people, Steve Martin in The Jerk had one special purpose. I don't know. I know that reference you don't get. Frank, hopefully, is probably laughing hysterically. But
I know of the movie.
You do know of the movie?
I know of it, yes.
Put it on your list.
It's all right.
It's
getting really long. It's
I
more
know.
of a scroll at this point.
You need to take a sabbatical and catch up on your list and then come back fully ready for all references.
Okay.
That is what we're looking for from you.
How about, while Jamie's off this week, how about you take next week off? I'll take the week after off, and then Frank can figure out what he's going to do. I don't know what he's going to take off on.
I don't know. I don't like taking time off.
I know you don't.
I mean, I will.
But you should.
Well, I will. In August, I'm taking a week because my daughter's getting married. But
there you go.
So
hey, there's
be
another
gone
purpose
for a
for
week.
you. Go to the wedding.
I am going to go to the wedding
swimmingly. Yeah.
Listen, if I didn't go to the wedding, think of if my wife's mad at me for not getting medical tests. Think of how mad she'd be if I didn't show up at the wedding, just because it's a hassle and I don't want to leave the house. All right, we live in Wisconsin. Beavers are everywhere. Have you had a beaver encounter? Not a euphemism. Got to point that out. But I'm asking for a reason because are Wisconsin beavers a nuisance? That is the headline. That's what we will talk about. I want your input, 855-75-CIVIC, 855-752-4842. This is Daybreak. I am Brian Noonan. Jamie is on vacation. Fear not, she will return rested and ready. And I say that with tongue in cheek. Do we really think Jamie is resting? Probably not. She likes to be busy, and good for her for wanting to be busy. I embrace sloth at all times, and I will do that now while we take a break on the Civic Media Network. All right. Take it right to the limit. Wow, we're almost done with the second hour. It's pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, no, after Swiper's Tale, I was like, wait a minute. That was the halfway point.
I know. We're moving.
Making schmoves.
Sometimes you just got to get the facts out, you share a little story, have a little fun. It all can't be doom and gloom.
No.
Do we have doom and... Oh, I am...
Uh-oh. Is there a little doom and gloom in the future?
Well, it's me going to be revved up at 8:35.
Oh, yes. I forgot about that one. Yes, you will be.
I had something else in there, and then I came up after dinner to finish the last two segments, and I saw this story, and I was like, nope. Nope.
Grinding the gears too much. Gotta do it.
Yep. I moved the thing that was there somewhere else. I think to tomorrow. It's like, nope.
Are there any Beaver songs?
Justin Bieber.
Justin Bieber was a running back for UW Whitewater in
Was he really?
2007. Yes.
Oh my God.
Justin Bieber.
Justin Bieber.
He won the National Player of the Year.
Really?
Yeah. He was on the first couple of national title teams, or at least the first one.
Wow.
I hate when you try to find a song about beavers and it just gives you kid songs.
Well, that's, yeah. Not a lot of adults sing about beavers.
No.
Well,
It's
not in the way
unfortunate.
that we can play.
No. No.
He keeps
Ran into the
making
same-
double entendres. I don't enjoy the double entendres.
I ran into the same issue when we did the kangaroo thing.
Yes.
All right.
I know
15
what he's
seconds.
talking about.
Across the state of Wisconsin, Daybreak with Brian and Jamie is back.
Good morning. Yes, I am Brian Noonan. I am back with Daybreak. Jamie's not here. I should tell everybody every break, right, that Jamie's on vacation. We'll talk to Frank.
I think they'll catch on.
That's a note. Yeah,
Just say talk to Frank to ask why.
Talk to Frank.
She's not here.
You wonder where Jamie is? Talk to Frank.
Talk to Frank.
I don't have time for this.
No. That makes it easier.
I have nothing but time from 6 to 9. I could tell you all day, all about it. But my question is, are Wisconsin beavers a nuisance? Have you run into a beaver? Have you had any sort of interaction? 855-75-CIVIC, 855-752-4842. That's the number. That's what I want to hear from you. All right, now, this is why I'm bringing it up. I'm not bringing it up just to snicker or to make double entendres. I'm not bringing it up because I just went to Buc-ee's and I had a beaver encounter that way. Because Bucky Nuggets. Have you been to a Buc-ee's?
I've
Parker?
not been to a Buc-ee's. No, I hear it's great.
Well, fingers crossed. One is supposed to come to Sun Prairie. Fingers crossed. Yes, they're already building one just south of Milwaukee.
Yeah, in Oak Creek, right? Yeah.
Yep, in Oak Creek. So encouraging. I've been following this story. Big Quick Trip is trying to put a kibosh on it a little bit, and I got no shade on Quick Trip, but I'm hoping Buc-ee's makes it up. But then
You want the beaver, all right?
Parker, I'm going to say it. You're going to use it as a drop-in. Yes, I want the beaver in Wisconsin. So there you go, nice and clean for you. But Frank's been telling me, oh, you got to go see this Pixar movie, Hoppers, and that's about beavers. It's about an animal lover who sees an opportunity to use new technology to hop her consciousness into a lifelike robotic beaver and communicate with animals. Sounds wild. I didn't see it yet. Maybe I'll watch it when it starts streaming. So filmmakers worked with the University of Minnesota endocrinologist, Dr. Emily Fairfax, as a science expert, they named the key character for her, Dr. Sam. Frank is probably going, oh, I remember Dr. Sam from Hoppers. Yes. So she said that Pixar did a good job showing how beavers can improve ecosystems with their dams. When you lose that beaver, you also lose the homes for the other animals. And I think that's a message that not everybody really understands, she told Minnesota Public Radio. If you trap a beaver out, if you remove its dam, you will take away a lot more than just the beaver from that ecosystem, whether you meant to do it or not. Now, you may be thinking, that's all great. You're telling us about travel plazas. You're telling us about animated movies. You're telling us about Minnesota. Why does that matter to people in Wisconsin? Well, I'm glad you asked, Parker, because researchers have identified Wisconsin as being among the top 10 states for biodiversity loss, largely due to climate change and animal overexploitation. That's why we should care. A vocal minority serving on a beaver advisory committee, which I've been part of with my buddies, that is drafting recommendations for the state's Department of Natural Resources, believes that it is time to change all that. Beavers should cease to be framed as a nuisance species and instead as an ecosystem engineer that creates wetlands. That can help reduce some of the worst effects of climate change, droughts, floods, and fires. So right there, you got to go, I'm going to cherish the beaver. I want it to be part of my ecosystem forever. The U.S. Department of Agriculture's Wildlife Services program lethally removes beavers in Wisconsin and other states throughout the Midwest. In Wisconsin, Wildlife Services staff trapped about 2,200 beavers last year and removed more than 800 dams, which then leads us back to why we are one of the top 10 states for biodiversity loss. That is not good. Now, the majority of Beaver Committee members, mostly, and I would like T-shirts made for that, Parker, mostly composed of state and federal employees and interest groups, support the status quo. Those who don't have criticized the committee as stacking the deck against people who would advocate for substantive changes in policy. There's nothing in here that tells me why we're getting rid of so many beavers. Why we have to rid ourselves of 2,200 beavers in this state. Now, the dams, if they're creating wetlands, I guess if you have property, if you're in farming, and if this is the case, I would love to hear from you because I truly don't understand. This is not a joke. I would like to find out why this is so troublesome. Maybe you have a waterway coming through your land and beavers build a dam and that screws things up downstream. That could be the case. But Wisconsin Watch has reported on this before, and they said the state has an arduous and often expensive permitting process to install flow control devices that can lower water levels in beaver ponds or prevent the blockage of culverts. That can usher landowners toward lethal solutions, the use of which Wisconsin law liberally allows. So, Parker, if you wanted to go out today and destroy some beaver, you're well within your rights.
Man, I'm on Team Beaver, though. It sounds like they do a lot of good.
Listen, I think beaver makes the world go round. So I think they're doing, I don't think we should be destroying them and getting rid of them. No. People may hurt or trap beavers and remove their dams on their property without obtaining a license or reporting their catch. In fact, there are risks to ignoring beavers on your property. Yes, Frank?
That does pose a risk. And Parker, I would agree. I am also Team Beaver.
They're important, man.
They are.
Gentlemen, your snickering is not appreciated. I don't know what. This is serious business.
I agree. I am Team Beaver.
Yeah.
100%.
Of course.
I am with the Beavers at all times, especially after seeing that movie.
Yeah, tell us about. So, Did you remember when I said Dr. Sam? Dr. Sam is based on a real human being.
We only have 40 seconds left, but yeah, it's a really good movie with a great message about the environment. I implore you all to go see it. It's actually laugh out loud funny for a kids movie.
I have trouble with the wholesale slaughter of a species. And granted,
sometimes
I
got to
don't
go
know
out
enough.
and hunt beaver.
Dude, I stopped doing that in my 20s. All right, it's almost time to say goodbye to WMDX listeners. You will go to Stephanie Miller. We will stay here. There's more scintillating conversations. I don't know if there's any more Beaver talk. Probably not. But you can download the free Civic Media app if you want to keep talking to us.
59.
You get distracted by the beavers.
50.
Look, I get distracted from beavers too.
I'm always distracted by beaver
happens.
conversation.
Yeah.
Brian, do you ever go
in a
beaver
way, I'm
hunting
really
in
glad-
Wisconsin?
What's that?
Do you ever go beaver hunting in Wisconsin?
Back in my road days, sure. Not wholesale slaughter of the beaver.
Oh, no.
No.
You don't want to do that.
No, that's...
I'm glad this story came out when Jamie was on vacation. And I mean, it is a serious thing, but it's hard not to be.
It is.
It's
I am
hard not
genuinely
to.
on team
Because we're 12.
Yes.
I have meant
you
every
have to
word
tell
I've
me-
said.
You have to tell me what AI scores that segment.
It's going to be interesting.
Well, it was.
hey,
I
Wisconsin
did
ties.
make a point of saying this is why you need to care.
No, this is I truly
was a-
believe.
Yes, it was a good
This is
local story.
I pulled the story. I thought it was a great story. Unfortunately, the Mr. Plow King. Look what happens when Jamie is away. Yeah. Look, if Jamie was here, we still would have done the story.
We would have.
Yeah, I tried
Would there
to
have
be
been
serious
as many
possible.
puns? Probably not. But
Probably.
Close.
yeah.
Very
Yeah, there
close.
probably would have been. You know, we did give all the facts. We gave the science. We gave the, I did ask. I mean, my question was a serious question to people. What,
I've never
But
had
yes,
a
it was
run-in
fun.
with
It
a
was
wild
fun.
beaver.
I bet you haven't.
No, you don't seem like a guy who
You don't
who'd
seem
run
that
in with
kind
some
of guy.
wild beaver.
Rude.
Some wild beaver.
What? You live in Madison. I don't know if there's many beavers in Madison.
I see you more with farm raised beaver. You're not catching it out in the wild.
Oh my god. Parker, I'll come up there next time we do a show together and we can maybe go beaver hunting.
Can you do that? Are you allowed to do that?
I can
if
set
we go
the
to
traps.
I'm
I
sure.
just can't kill
I can. Yeah.
I hear that
Exactly.
there are literally laws against for
I'd have to.
hunting
Yeah, I think I can set traps.
beavers. Okay.
Yeah, I can help you. I can help you collect pelts. I just can't.
Just can't be the
Oh,
one.
of course. They all live in Beaver Dam.
You know what? Mr.
You're
Cloud
right, Mr.
King
Cloud
raises
King.
a good point. We do have to
Yeah,
go to Beaver Dam.
You're right. We
Yeah.
do. I forgot.
And then the whole show is just double entendres and snickering.
We are 12.
I'll be honest.
mean-
This is like, I know it's juvenile, but that's part of why I do this. Is so sometimes you can be silly and juvenile and still get the point across.
Hey, if nothing else, this is for our own entertainment.
Yes,
This
and
whole
it's
job.
educational.
Yeah.
People may not have known that beavers are being slaughtered wholesale.
I didn't. I didn't know
See?
any of that stuff.
You didn't know
No,
any
it's
of it.
it's a genuinely great story. I wish
It
the author is working on other pieces, so he wasn't able to join us today, unfortunately. But yeah, I thought it was a really good story,
Yeah.
especially with the Pixar tie, and it was a really popular movie. So
And there are questions that that we had that could have been serious
I know.
questions.
I know.
Not just when will Parker find a beaver,
Hey, now.
or where will he catch a beaver?
Beaver Dam.
Beaver Dam.
That's right.
Beaver Dam.
My brother used to live in Beaver Dam.
Wow.
Explains why
Doesn't
he's
need
married.
to anymore.
No, his wife and him moved there while she was working in some prairie and he was working in Oshkosh, so it went in the middle.
Oh, nice.
There you go.
I don't know if I've ever seen I've seen beavers in zoos. I've never seen them in their natural habitat.
I don't think I've ever seen them in the wild.
I'm trying to remember though. No, wait. Because I saw a lot of different animals when we were in the Smoky Mountains, including bears, which was one of the coolest days of my life.
Oh, God.
That's terrifying.
Yeah.
No, we
Terrifying,
were
but also really cool.
there was
I don't know how I would feel.
there's a road. Well, you'd feel smart if you were like everybody who stopped and got out of their cars and stayed about 100 yards away from this mother and her 3 cubs. And everybody was very quiet and very respectful and stayed far back until these 2 jerk-off teenagers came running by everybody. And part of me was like,
God.
oh, no. And the other part of me was like, this is going to be epic.
Could you imagine?
Oh, God.
No. And these were black
Just watch
bears.
Mother Nature take its course.
And
Darwinism.
sometimes you deserve it. Yeah, it's Darwinism. If you're that dumb, because I'm telling you, there were probably 50, 60 people who would, because you drive this trail in the Smoky Mountain National Park just outside of, I think it's Gatlinburg, whatever. And you're hoping to see some bear. That's where they say early in the morning on this one-way road, you can sometimes see it. And people were all pulled over. And even out on the road, people were whispering, there's bear.
All right,
So-
we got 15 seconds till we're back here.
Greatest.
Brian, when you open up, can you plug socials and our podcast now being on Spotify?
I will.
Thank you.
Wisconsin wakes up here. Back to Daybreak with Brian and Jamie.
Good morning. Welcome to hour 3 of the big show. We are glad you're here. If you can't get enough of Daybreak with Brian and Jamie, and quite frankly, I won't blame you. 3 hours doesn't seem like enough. And you're thinking, well, where, Brian? Where can I get some? Good news is we've got a lot of avenues for you. You can try out our new social media channels, Daybreak with Brian and Jamie, on both Facebook and Instagram. Go check those out. We have reels going up all the time. There's some behind-the-scenes stuff. We put all kinds of things up there like one does on social media. So please go like and subscribe to those. We would truly appreciate it. Then you might say, I missed your conversation on why beaver is so important here in Wisconsin. Can I listen to that again? Yes, you can. You can either go to civicmedia.us, click on the Daybreak tab, and then search for it on our podcast. You could do that, but if it's easier, and I think it might be, you can go to Spotify and subscribe to our podcast, Daybreak with Brian and Jamie. Subscribe to those, and then you will get them in your feed, and you can just revel in the glory that is Daybreak with Brian and Jamie. Did I build it up too much, Parker? I don't think so.
I think that's good to revel in the show.
I think you should revel. You should let us wash over you like a warm bath and cleanse you of all your outside worries. Now it's getting creepy, but either way, go to Spotify and subscribe to our podcast. That would be great. And go to the website just to visit so my corporate overlords don't get mad at me. Say, really, why aren't you promoting the whole company? Why are you just promoting your show? Well, I think you know the answer. Anyway, with that, it's time for headlines. Let's look to Iran, where there are always headlines, as we are in week 7 of the war of choice that Donald Trump started with Iran. The U.S. attacked and seized an Iranian flag cargo ship it said had tried to evade its naval blockade near the Strait of Hormuz today. It was the first interception since the U.S. blockade of Iranian ports began last week. Iran's Joint Military Command vowed to respond, throwing a fragile ceasefire into question days before it expires on Wednesday. Now, Iran today offered a new death toll for the war, with its forensic chief saying at least 3,375 people had been killed in the conflict. The figure came from Abbas Majedi, the head of Iran's legal medicine organization. Majedi said only 4 of the dead remain unidentified. In other headlines, President Trump on Sunday said U.S. negotiators will be in Pakistan today for another round of talks with Iran. However, as with a lot of things the president says about Iranian officials did not directly respond to his announcement, and there's no response. So we don't know if Iran is coming today to Islamabad, but J.D. Vance and other diplomats of high caliber and high experience, I'm sure, are there waiting. In other ceasefire news, a 10-day ceasefire in Israel and Lebanon appears to be holding, which is good news. And finally, in the Iranian war headlines. China's Ministry of Foreign Affairs expressed concern today over the U.S. seizure of an Iranian flag cargo ship on Sunday. They said, "We hope all relevant parties will adopt a responsible attitude, abide by the ceasefire agreement, avoid escalating tensions or intensifying contradictions." And as we know, a lot of the oil tankers that come through the strait are going to China, so it is imperative for them to make sure that strait stays open as well. And we will see. All right. That's the news from the Persian Gulf. But then we turn our sights to other news because there is always stuff you need to know.
It's a wake-up call in more ways than one. Time for some you need to know.
Now, Parker, you were dealing with this with your grandparents on a minor degree, but across Wisconsin, the wait for flooded rivers to recede could take a few days. There's flooding all over. Your house didn't flood, right, Parker?
No, we had flooding, I think, last summer, and then we made some changes, and we almost get no water in our whatchamacallit thing now.
Sump pit?
Yeah, sump pump, yes.
Your sump
Barely
pump
get
pit.
any in there anymore.
Good. And your grandparents just had a little bit?
Just a little bit, not too bad.
Well, that's good. So, the end of flooding is dependent on each different river. So the Rock and Wisconsin rivers, for example, are deeper within drainage basins and have much more water to outflow than other rivers before floods are over. It could be 3 to 4 days before these slow responders, which is what the National Weather Service calls some of these rivers, are below major flooding stages. Most rivers crested April 15th and 17th, so Friday and Saturday, most of the rivers were cresting and are now on their way down, even if they're draining slow. Many fast responders, like the Milwaukee, Menominee, and Kinnickinnick rivers, are all descending at or below a minor flooding as of yesterday. There's some words that you always have trouble with. Like I can say Giannis nonstop. If I try to read Giannis's name, I always screw it up. So like Kinnickinnick, I know it, I can pronounce it, I can say it. I can't make the connection when I'm looking at it because there's so many N's in there. There's too many letters in Kinnickinnick.
It is terrifying to look at, yeah.
Yes, it's hard. And again, I know how to say it, just like I know how to say Giannis. But when I look at Giannis, I always mispronounce it. And then people go, "Dude, don't you know who Giannis Antetokounmpo is?" I go, "Yes, I do." And I can say, I just said it now.
I was going to ask if you can do Antetokounmpo.
And I did. I did. But ask me to read it. Not going to happen.
I'll send it to you in a second.
Not going to happen. All right, so what rivers are still on flood warnings in Wisconsin? I'm not asking you, I'll tell you, because you're like, wait, we're not meteorologists. Aren't you supposed to be giving us the stuff we need to know? Yes, I am. So these are the rivers that are still on flood warning. The Rock River, the Milwaukee River at Cedarburg, the Fox River, Sugar River, Wolf River, Menominee River, Yellow River, that brings up an old joke from grade school, and the Peshtigo River. So those are the rivers that everybody's on their way down. Some are slower than others. I hope where you are along the network that the flooding is minor and you are getting back to normal, because water, I would rather have a blizzard any day of the week than flooding. Any day. All right, some other stuff you need to know. The story continues on President Trump's ballroom. Construction of the ballroom can continue for now, according to a U.S. appeals court. A federal appeals court is allowing the president to continue building a $400 million ballroom at the White House, ruling a day after a lower court, because if you remember, last time we were together on Friday, a judge had said, no, you can't keep building the ballroom. You can build the security bunker underneath, because that we can justify that as national security, despite the fact that there's already a huge bunker under the White House. But, Donald Trump, it's not made of gold, so he probably wants a different bunker. But anyway, this court overruling the other court, because last week the judge continued to block above-ground construction. A 3-judge panel of the U.S. Court of Appeals for the District of Columbia Circuit late Friday night put on temporary hold the order by U.S. Judge Richard Leon, halting part of the project. The panel scheduled a hearing for June 5th to review the case. In his ruling Thursday, Leon continued to block above-ground construction of the 90,000 square foot ballroom addition while allowing only below-ground work to continue on a bunker and other national security facilities at the site. The National Trust for Historic Preservation later sued to block construction of the ballroom, arguing that Trump had overstepped his authority, big shocker, by moving forward with the project without first getting approval from key federal agencies and Congress. And why, pray tell, would you think that the president is going to seek approval for any of that, considering he never seeks approval? He believes he is able to do what he needs to do and wants to do, hence the arch that is going in. Have you seen that monstrosity? Have you seen pictures of the arch that he wants to be built? That looks, well, first of all, it's bigger than any other arch in the world. I saw a rendering the other day and a comparison. Like it dwarfs Parker, you're a citizen of the world. What's the first, when I say historic or famous arches, what one do you think of? And I don't say McDonald's.
The Golden Arches, of course. Probably the French one. I think it's in
Yes.
Paris. I have no idea what
Arc
that
de
means.
Triomphe.
Arc de Triomphe. Uh-huh.
This arch will dwarf the Arc de Triomphe. This arch is barely shorter than the U.S. Capitol Dome. That's how big this arch is.
That seems excessive.
Yes, and you may ask, why do we need an arch? Well, no, we don't need an arch that is very reminiscent of the old Nazi bunker arches, but that's neither here nor there. All right, so he didn't get approval, and we'll see. The ballroom debate continues. All right, let's finish up with this one. The federal government plans to loan a Janesville company up to $263 million to support the use of nuclear fission technology in medicine. The facility, called Chrysalis, will produce molybdenum 99 or Mo 99, because you don't want less 99. You got to have Mo 99, an isotope involved in diagnosis of conditions including heart disease and cancer that is not commercially produced in the United States. That according to a company press release and reported by the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel. Chrysalis is expected to be the largest medical isotope production facility in the world. Shine uses its nuclear fusion technology for a variety of medical and non-medical purposes, including neutron testing and production of targeted cancer therapies. A lot of medical news today on the show. The U.S. Department of Energy's Office of Energy Dominance Financing announced the conditional loan commitment just over a month after Shine had said it had raised $240 million from investors, bringing its total fundraising to more than $1 billion. Now, the announcement was welcomed by the city of Janesville, which said the project will support approximately 200 construction jobs and 150 permanent jobs, so that's a nice economic boon for Janesville. The city manager, Kevin Lahner, said in a statement, quote, "This announcement reflects the continued momentum of economic development in Janesville. Investments like this strengthen our local economy while positioning our community as a leader in advanced manufacturing and emerging technologies." So good for them. I hope it works out. And again, you hear this story and you're like, wait a minute, how is this even possible? Who came up with this? A bunch of brilliant people came up with this, and now it's going to bring more jobs and more money and more development to a local economy. So we are always good with that. I still am of an age where I hear the word nuclear and I get a little nervous, but it's not a nuclear reactor. There's nuclear medicine. We've all had some, maybe you had an MRI, maybe you had some, there's nuclear medicine all around. So nuclear medicine is fine. Do I want a reactor in my backyard? Probably not. Because I don't know.
Reactors are safer than you think.
I do, Parker, but I'm old enough to remember Chernobyl and 3 Mile Island. Look them up. Look them up.
Yes, I'll look them up.
Or don't. Just, And yes, everything is much safer now than it used to be, thank goodness. And I'm not saying it's a bad idea. I think it's a great idea. And I think if it's advancing medical technology and moving things along that way, I'm all for it. And if the city is good with it and the residents are good with it because they're going to be working, that's great. Now, we were mentioning the rivers and the flooding, and maybe some of you, and I want to hear from you if this is the case. Some of you got your homes flooded and you found out hey, wait, my insurance is not covering this. Yeah, you're not alone in that. So if you are having trouble with your home flooding and insurance not covering it, I want to hear your story. 855-75-CIVIC, 855-752-4842. That's what we're going to get to next. I'm Brian Noonan. This is Daybreak, and this, of course, is the Civic Media Network.
All right.
Boom,
boom, boom. I am trying to find the last national monument that was built.
Ooh.
Because I'm really interested.
Well, and this arch also dwarfs everything else on the mall.
Oh, I mean,
Washington
if it's
Monument,
taller
the
than
Lincoln Memorial, everything.
If it's as tall as the Capitol,
it's a monument it's a monument to him.
Well, to America 250. I know.
It'll probably have his name on it.
But
he wants to give himself an award. I didn't read the whole story today. That's why I didn't bring it up. But yes, he wants to give himself an award.
Of course.
I dropped my car off for service, and they're texting me that they, hey, we're buying old cars so you can buy a new car. And I'm like, if I could buy a new car, I would have.
No. Give me my car back, please.
Trust me, yeah. No, I want my car. I got a wedding. No new cars till after the wedding. Everything is after the wedding. Are we going to have breakfast? After the wedding. After the wedding. I was thinking of that yesterday about, I got to see, though, how many days I have exactly. I know I have enough for the wedding, but I also know we accumulate it as we go.
Sure.
So I don't know. There might be a Friday or something I want to take off.
Do it, Brian.
I'm going to say I always like to save them till around the holidays. I like to take a couple days.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah. I give you that.
I mean, if something were to come up, I would, but.
Yeah.
It's not like we're breaking rocks.
$15 seconds till we're back.
Local voices, statewide impact. It's Daybreak with Brian and Jamie.
Welcome back. This is Daybreak. I am Brian Noonan, and if you're having trouble with your home insurance because you flooded over the last couple weeks, I would love to hear from you. 855-75-CIVIC, 855-752-4842. And the reason I'm asking you this is because you are not alone. Now, TV station WBAY out of Green Bay is reporting that communities across, well, we all know this, communities across northeast Wisconsin are dealing with the aftermath of severe weather that brought heavy rain, rising rivers, and flooding. And as we mentioned in Stuff You Need to Know, the rivers, for the most part, have crested. Most are on their way down. Some go back down quicker than others, so you still might have a little flooding or a little worry in your area. But as you clean up and as you look at your flooded basement, you're like, oh, well, let me go get my homeowner's insurance. I got to contact my agent and see if everything's good. A lot of people are finding that standard insurance policies may not cover the flood damage that is left behind. So, as you can imagine, insurance companies have seen an increase in claims due to flooding and sump pump failures. And the sump pumps never fail until there's a heavy rain. Oh, they're gonna work in the light rain. That's fine. But when you really need your sump pump, that's when mine used to go out. It was never, and there is nothing worse. Nothing worse than a flooded basement. Anyway, homeowners are finding that their standard insurance doesn't include flooding. This, according to an insurance agent in Green Bay. He said if it's water just seeping in, coming in through a window well, that's probably not going to be covered unless it's a big enough leak and you have home or flood insurance. So flood insurance is an add-on and can cost an average of $1,000 to $2,000, depending on factors like the property location, the way the home was built, and whether it is in a flood zone. And if you are in one of those zones, man, you're going to pay through the nose if you need flood insurance. So according to this insurance agent and other insurance experts, it is recommended that people get the backup of the sewer drain and the sump pump coverage. So, all right, I don't know what that costs. Maybe it's something good. That is a critical one, they say, because sump pumps do go out and they go out at the most inconvenient time. At your home, make sure that the dollar levels that you have are high enough for your home insurance. Look to see if you have a comprehensive form of coverage or adjust the name to peril. That way, a peril is a flood or other things. That's going to make a big difference if you have it. Some other concerns, obviously you're going to lose property in a flood. Things are going to get damaged. But then you also have to worry because you're going to start cleaning up and there are concerns about mold. So companies, mold remediation companies, say it's important to call professionals to do a moisture check. And a lot of them will do it at no cost. Most of us can see, and a lot of times if the flood is bad enough in your basement, you can see the line on the wall where the water came to and you know there's moisture in the wall. But anyway, mold can begin to grow in about 48 to 72 hours, and that will create unhealthy environments in your home. Anything that's under the floor can turn to mold, behind the walls, the subfloors, things like that. Insulation gets wet behind the exterior walls, so you're going to have microbial growth start there. Could rot. Your house could rot from the outside in. You'll never know about it. It's horrible. Horrible. Now, you said, Parker, you didn't have any hail damage or flood damage to your car. Is that correct?
No, I was very relieved with that.
You're very fortunate. That is good news because that is the other sort of damage that people are dealing with their insurance. And insurance agents are very quick to remind drivers that even with comprehensive coverage, driving through high floodwater could result in your claim being denied. Turn around, don't drown. We learned that last week. Insurance doesn't cover stupidity. I don't even know if they sell that clause. If you went to your agent and go, look, I'm really dumb, and there's a good chance that I am going to do something so ridiculous that, one, you're not going to believe I could do it. Two, I shouldn't have done it. And three, I'm going to want you to pay for it. So is there some codicil that you could add to my policy that will make it possible for me to act in my natural way, which again is stupid, and you'll cover it for me? I'm pretty sure they're going to say no. But if your car is parked, it's, outside in your driveway, and that area floods, that's going to be covered under comprehensive car insurance. So that's good. Otherwise, you drive through that viaduct or you're leaving the Brewers game and you see 6 cars stuck in the flooded underpass and you decide, well, time for me to make my run. You're not going to do it. So again, insurance agents tell you got to be careful that way. But then here's a little, this is good advice for everybody. Everybody, if you know the storms are coming, check your sump pumps, put water in the sump pit, run your dehumidifiers, take pictures of any damage, and contact your insurance adjusters immediately. I have a dehumidifier. The first time I bought a house with a basement, I got a dehumidifier, and my dehumidifier runs nonstop. And I know you're going to go, well, it's not supposed to in the winter because you have the furnace going. Yeah, I do, but I also have the basement, and the basement still gets murky. Not too humid, not like gross, but enough where you have to run the dehumidifier. And I've been fortunate. Only one house. I've had small floods in others. One house that we had instead of a sump pump, we had an old standpipe, which, Parker, is what it sounds like, a big pipe that comes out of the basement floor. And supposedly the sewer would have then about 4 feet to back up before it starts flooding. Did that once. And then I had a house with a sump pump that sump pump quit, and we had about 2 feet of water in the basement.
Oof.
And it was horrific. All right. I'm a little upset. And I want to see if you're a Christian or a Catholic. If you are upset too, we'll talk about why I'm upset after this. It's Daybreak on the Civic Media Network.
All right. I'm prepared for the... I don't think rant is the right word here, but...
Yeah, it's just... but it's going to...
You're going to be going.
Well, I got something to say.
Yeah, I know you do. And for the record, from what I can find, the last monument built in D.C. was in 2020.
Okay.
It was the Dwight Eisenhower Memorial.
Oh, I didn't even know we had a Dwight Eisenhower.
I didn't either. The last one in D.C. that I knew about was the World War I memorial built in 2014.
Right. Did you see this video, and I'm going to talk about it tomorrow, of the bobcat stalking a hunter, a 19-year-old hunter in Wisconsin?
Yeah. I went right past it, but I read the caption and saw like a thumbnail of it.
I watched that video. It was crazy because that thing just so still.
Oh, I'm sure.
So slow. And yeah.
And they get you.
They get you. That's how they get you. That's how they get you. Here we are, the home stretch.
Yeah. Getting there. My goal this year for sports was to get into hockey finally, because I always say I'm going to get into hockey and I never do.
How did it work out?
Well, it worked out horribly, but now it's the playoffs.
Yes, and
So
playoff
now I'm
hockey
in.
is phenomenal.
Yes, I am in now. The Buffalo game last night was sweet.
Yeah, I heard it was. I read this morning how good it was.
Yeah,
I did not watch it. I find if I stumble upon it and my teams aren't in it, I will watch. But I don't if my team, and the Hawks haven't been in for quite some time.
No, yeah.
But yeah, it's like that with the World Series or anything. I will
Once
watch.
my team's out.
Yeah. It's like, okay. That's the nice thing about March Madness. Since Southern has gotten into the first round a couple times and made it to maybe the 32.
Okay.
But so I never have a horse in the race,
No.
but that I like.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that I'll watch. World Series and stuff like that. I know since 2005 the Sox aren't going to be there, so I don't care.
Yeah, unless it's like a game 7. Like that, I'm going to watch.
Yeah, if it comes down to that, I'll watch it.
I will probably still watch any of
seventh
it,
game
but
of the Stanley Cup or the deciding game, because it's really exciting. It's exciting at all stages of the season, but there's something about playoff hockey. I've been lucky enough to go to a couple finals games and playoff games, and you know, that's one of the perks of working as the flagship of a Stanley Cup contender at the time.
That's true. That's very fun. Right at the start of the sake season, I was in a bar and drunkenly chose my hockey team
Who'd
to
you
be
pick?
the Utah Mammoth.
Oh.
Or as I refer to them, the Stormin' Mormons. Hey, We're in the playoffs, baby. I don't know one name on that team, but we're in the playoffs, baby.
Utah Mammoths. Not to be confused with the Moon Mammoths.
No.
Pennsylvania.
No. Very different.
Very different. Molly and Ian went to a Moon Mammoth game. They drove all the way out to see it after, They had ordered their hats, and they went to a Moon Mammoth game. They said it was hilarious. She sent pictures of her with the mascot.
All right, we got 10 seconds here.
Fairly solid and better than expected. It's Daybreak with Brian and Jamie.
Welcome back. If you are a Christian or a Catholic, I'm wondering how you will respond to this announcement. And if you are another religion or have no religion at all, I'm wondering how you are going to react to this. 855-75-CIVIC, 855-752-4842. Here's the headline. Trump to read Bible verse from the Oval Office after feud with the Pope and deleted AI image. I want to know how you feel about the President of the United States reading the Bible in a public address from the Oval Office. Now, we know, and I saw this story yesterday. I'm going to, right at the outset, this angers me to an unbelievable level because we do not live in a theocracy. This country was founded on the separation of church and state. I don't care what religion you are. You do not have the right to rule this country based on your religious beliefs. This country is made up of millions of people from all different religions and a lot of people who are atheist or agnostic and who don't believe in religion or who believe in the tenets of religion, treating other people with respect, being kind to others without having to put a label on it and go to church. And the attempt by white Christian nationals to create a theocracy has to be stopped. This is not right. It is not representative of the entire country, and it is not representative of what this country meant when it was founded. So, this is where we're going. He's going to participate in a public Bible reading this week as the administration continues to integrate religion, particularly Christianity, not particularly Christianity, only Christianity, into official business. On April 21st, President Trump is scheduled to read Scripture via video message from the Oval Office during the 6 o'clock Eastern hour. That comes from a press release from organizers of this event, which is called America Reads the Bible. Why don't we start with the guy who is going to be reading the Bible? The same guy who held a Bible upside down after he ordered protesters to be shot in the legs with rubber bullets. The same guy who would not put his hand on a Bible when he was sworn in as President of the United States. So I'm guessing he hasn't read this thing at all. So the president's participation in the week-long reading is particularly notable given this recent feud with Pope Leo over the Iran conflict and the backlash he received earlier this week for posting and then deleting an AI-generated image of him depicting himself as Jesus. And you know, in the aftermath of that, the president said he thought it was a doctor. I'm sorry. I'm old enough to have gone to a lot of doctors in my life. None of them had glowing hands that they laid upon me to cure me of my ailments. None of them had clouds behind them and wore a white robe and a red sash. None of them were beaming beatifically as they leaned over me to find out why I was coughing so much. He's either too dumb or too full of bull to admit that he knew he wanted to depict himself as Jesus. He liked it, and he let it go. All right. And the feud with the Pope, man, talk about coming to a battle of wits unarmed between him and J.D. Vance arguing at the Pope, who has 4 degrees in divinity, who has been chosen by 161 cardinals to represent the millions of Catholics worldwide, for them to say that he doesn't know the Bible and he needs to stick to his lane. Forget the fact that he's an American citizen and has every right as an American citizen to talk about the garbage that's going on here. But we're going to argue with the Pope because he's amoral and you are the pinnacle of morality and ethics, President Trump and Vice President Vance. Unbelievable. So in the video message, and please feel free to jump in. I especially want to hear if you are not of a Christian, how you feel about being a citizen of this country and having religion forced down your throat when that is the antithesis of what we're supposed to be doing in this country. 855-75-CIVIC, 855-752-4842. So his participation in the week-long reading is particularly notable given that his recent feud with the Pope. So he is, according to organizers, going to read the passage from 2 Chronicles chapter 7, verses 11 to 22. And this, I guess it's a real one, not like the one Pete Hegseth quoted the other day at a prayer service when he quoted Pulp Fiction and Ezekiel, which is not, it was made up. But this is this administration's embrace of religion. It doesn't even have to be real. It is all performance theater, and it is hypocrisy at the highest level. It is wrapping yourself in religion to appeal to a small sect of religious people, the white Christian nationalists, who you believe are going to be enough to save you from an election loss and keep you in power. And the more noise they make, the more attention is shown upon them. And I think it's important, though, that we do shine a light on this, because this is a movement that aims to make this country a theocracy. And I, for one, don't want to live in a theocracy. I was raised Catholic. I believe myself to be spiritual. I strive to be a good person. Organized religion has a lot of problems for me, and especially when organized religion is weaponized to either keep people marginalized or to infringe on people's rights or just to be cruel, which again, if you are a believer in Jesus and a believer in his teachings, this is not what Jesus taught any of us. So how dare these hypocrites wrap themselves in this and try to make us follow? Anyway, so here is the verse that's frequently quoted that the president is going to read. If my people, which are called by my name, shall humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then I will hear from heaven and will forgive their sins and will heal their land. And why do I think this is the internal monologue in his head all the time? But he is putting his name where Jesus' name should be and saying this. The verse also gained public attention when the founder of Cowboys for Trump prayed over the crowd at the January 6th Capitol riot. Well, that's a good verse then to keep when insurrectionists are using this prayer or verse. We all know what happened then. No, we don't. Those were calm citizens taking a peaceful tour of the Capitol. Why would you think anything else? Well, because even though I wear glasses, I can see pretty clearly. Trump ties the verse. Trump has ties back to this verse going even further, according to the Christian Post. Soon after his 2016 victory, evangelist Anne Graham Lotz, Billy Graham's daughter, said it was a sign that God was answering a prayer of his people, just like in 2 Chronicles 7:14. So he does believe himself to be appointed by God, and some of these far-right Christians believe themselves to believe that he is also appointed by God. I think it was appointed by something, but I don't think it was God. Margaret Susan Thompson, a professor of history and political science at Maxwell School at Syracuse University, told CNN the verse has been seen by many evangelical Christians as, quote, a justification of calling upon God to bless their nation. You know, and I brought this up earlier, Trump was in the midst of 2 big political issues last week. He has this feud with the Pope, who he says has spoken out against the war, which the Pope has, because any true religious leader would speak out against the war. The president criticized the Pope. He told reporters, "We don't like a Pope who is going to say that it's okay to have nuclear weapons." I'm not a fan of Pope Leo. And just as a fact check, because that's what we like to do, I checked these facts based on other fact-checking reputable sources, CNN, PolitiFact, all these. The Pope never said that someone should have nuclear weapons, let alone saying Iran should have nuclear weapons. The president then had to defend himself about the picture controversy. The White House, the seat of our government, has asked Americans to pray for an hour a week. Bible verses and Christian imagery have appeared on official government social media accounts, and the federal agencies have posted prayer services. You know, there has been a lot of push to get prayer back in school, to post the 10 Commandments in school. All of this leading to a complete takeover by the religious right of this country. And to make this country, even though we say it in the pledge, one nation under God, they now want God at the center of all this. And they believe, like Catholic doctrine believes, that when the Pope speaks on matters of dogma, he is infallible. They believe that when Trump speaks on matters of pretty much anything, it is dogma, and he is infallible. And it couldn't be further from the truth. And it should, I think, bother all of us, even the most devout among us. And as I admitted, I am not in any way, shape, or form going to be mistaken for the most devout among us. But I will be mistaken for a free-thinking, empathetic, caring human being who tries to live the right way based on the teachings that I learned as a child. And the teachings are what's important. It's not the pageantry that goes along with it. It's not where you go on Sunday, because what is true is a lot of people leave church and they're the most miserable creeps you ever want to meet once they get in their cars and try to leave the parking lot. So there is a lot of hypocrisy. There are a lot of people who are really decent, good people who are very devout in their faith. But I wonder if even you, if you fit in that category, want to live in a theocracy. I wonder how an atheist feels. There's a lot of atheists who treat people based on, while they don't believe in God, they can believe that you treat people respectfully, you love thy neighbor, you try to take care of people who are less fortunate. All of the things that the policies of this administration seem to go against. And if you look at the man who is going to be sitting in the Oval Office reading a Bible, who I know, it's all about we must forgive, we must move on, there have to be other chances. There's only forgiveness when you repent, when you admit what you have done and you repent. And the president has not repented on any of his 34 indictments, any of the other things he's been accused of or convicted of. So I saw this story yesterday, and I don't mean to get on a soapbox, but hey, that's why they give me this platform. Sometimes you get on a soapbox, and a theocracy is not only dangerous. Jean is in Eau Claire. She wants to jump in real quick. Hi, Jean.
Outstanding job. Hallelujah. Thank you very much for doing this. I agree with you 1,000%. I taught Sunday school, Bible school, and I agree with you. I'm more praying by myself. But this is unbelievable. I agree with you 100%. We need more soapboxes like this so people wake up, because this is blasphemous. It is unbelievable. And also work in the mental health field. These are people who think they're the Lord and think that they're Jesus, and these type of things that need to be hospitalized immediately. So thank you very much. Keep up the great work. Thank you. Soapbox more often. Thank you.
Well,
Bye.
Thank you, Jean. I appreciate the call. Yeah, there's a lot more, and we have to be diligent, and we have to keep our eyes open, and we have to push back on this whenever possible. Hey, let's go from religious hypocrisy to the best hamburgers. Why not? That's what we do. It's Daybreak on the Civic Media Network. All right. I didn't call names.
No, I think that was solid. I'm just thinking about Whoppers now.
Yeah, me too. Remember when we talked about we did the story of them improving the Whopper?
Yeah, and we called the Burger King president.
Right.
Yes.
Well, I've had
constitutional monarchy. It turns out.
I have had some Whoppers.
Have you?
Ooh.
And
Are
they
improved?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. They are not smushed anymore. Hi, Frank.
Oh.
I'm
Hi.
back. I'm back for fun talk.
I'm back for some boigas.
Yes.
Boigas.
Boigas. Boing.
Boing.
Yeah. Well, that was nice. Thank
Look,
you for
man.
putting Gene. It was nice to. I know it was a little self-serving, but it was nice to have that call from Gene. Because I really did think more people would get involved.
I think part of it too is a lot of our really engaged listeners come from MDX.
Oh, okay. Well,
Is
now
my-
here
But
Cindy.
everybody can be engaged.
Yeah,
Feel
get
free
them all
to.
engaged.
Please
Interact
do.
with
Engage.
us. Have some fun. Cindy just texted in.
I know.
Cindy from Appleton. Trump is doing this for the Epstein files when it is released.
Yeah, like the convicted murderers who on death row find Jesus. I don't buy that either. Oh, the Antichrist may be preceded by a Trump-like authoritarian. It could be worse with the next world leader. Oh my gosh. All right.
Unnamed texter.
Unnamed
Well,
texter
thank
scared me.
you. Thank you
Yes.
both for these texts after the break. That was 14 minutes long.
Maybe they were just listening to my well thought out and delivered monologue.
I think you know what? Everybody just let you have the floor.
Uh-oh, he's on a roll.
Forget it. He's rolling.
Was it
Germans.
over?
Germans. That's an Animal House reference, Parker.
I know that one.
Okay.
I only
You do?
know
Okay.
that reference. I haven't seen Animal House.
It
It's
did
very
not
high
age
on the
well,
list.
but it's so good.
It did not age
that
well.
means it's great.
It aged better than Revenge of the Nerds, but
Correct.
still didn't
It's
age
still-
great.
It's still funny.
It's
Yeah.
It's just a bunch of vignettes, really. There's a loose story that runs throughout, but it's a bunch of little vignettes.
yeah, there really isn't.
No.
I think that's what makes it good.
Yeah, like the cafeteria scene is a vignette. The pajama party a vignette. The do you mind if we dance with your dates?
That's
Do you mind if I
So
dance
good.
with your date?
he just
Why no?
picks
We
up
were
the
just
whole table.
leaving. They just throw the girl out of the
Oh
car.
my god!
I remember seeing that when it came out, and it was scandalous. I was
Hey,
like,
5950.
10
59
seconds. 59.50. 10 seconds.
I don't know why that one always, the 10 seconds always throws me off.
Now back to more of Daybreak with Brian and Jamie.
Welcome back. Don't forget you can like all of our social media channels, both of them on Facebook and Instagram, Daybreak with Brian and Jamie. Subscribe to the Civic Media app, and you can listen to the show wherever you go and all the other programs on the Civic Media Network. But now we have a question. Your favorite fast food hamburger. Favorite fast food hamburger, 855-75-CIVIC, 855-752-4842. Don't just give us the name, give us why. What makes your pick the favorite? Because the reason we ask, Frank sent me this, because he knows I love to eat, and he knows I love hamburgers. A newly released YouGov study surveyed Americans about their dining preferences, including their favorite fast food burger, and the winner, Five Guys. Five Guys. It is one of the priciest fast food options. In 2025, All Recipes ranked Five Guys as the #1 most expensive fast food chain in the United States, followed by Jack in the Box. I dispute that. Shake Shack, I agree with. Cava, I don't know. And Chipotle. Now, that's why I stopped going to Five Guys. Because I couldn't. First of all, I'm going to say this. Hot take. I don't consider Five Guys fast food.
I was gonna say that, so I'm glad you did. If there is no drive-through, and if my only option is to walk into your store, I don't think you get to claim fast food.
No. And I'm trying. Do Chipotle? No, most Chipotles don't have a drive-through either. You have to go in, and most of the time I will. When I do go there, I will probably eat there rather than
It's a
take
slop
out.
bowl place, though. It's different. That's like its own category.
Yeah, Shake Shack is a walk-in, dine-in. It's not fast food. Jack in the Box, stop it. First of all, Jack in the Box just coming back to the area. If you're in Wisconsin, you may not know Jack in the Box. It was all across the country. Then it went away for a long time, was only on the West Coast. Now it's making inroads back into some areas. They still have the 2 tacos. It used to be 2 tacos for $1. Now it's 2 tacos for $1.50. The most outrageous tacos ever, but we're talking about burgers. But their Jumbo Jack and stuff is no more pricey than anywhere else. That is a fast food.
Is it good, though?
Yeah, I like Jack in the Box.
That's my thing. Would you
I
put
like
it
Jack
in the
Box.
okay? But here's the deal: would you
It's not
put
in the
it
top
in your top
5.
3? I was gonna say
No,
top 3. It's not even top 5, right?
No, not top 5. And I don't usually get the burgers there because I go there for the cheap tacos that are deep fried with a pocket of, I don't know, meat-ish, cheese-ish stuff in there. I don't want to know. I know what it takes. Cindy is in Appleton. Cindy, where's your favorite fast food burger?
Hey, Brian. Well, I'm actually kind of a Quick Trip junkie because not their little cheeseburger that they have every day, but I'm talking like their mushroom and Swiss or their Angus burger, their bacon burger. Oh, there's spicy chicken sandwich that they have on special on Thursdays, beef Popeyes, or the
Cindy, there's no way.
I've had Quick Trip
statement.
food. Uh-oh,
Yep.
Frank disagrees with you.
I haven't
Cindy,
had
what we
it.
got to do is take Frank to Quick Trip because their stuff is solid. The little breakfast wraps, I've had their small cheeseburgers, Cindy. I haven't had one of their big specialty ones. And it's tasty. It serves a purpose. I don't think it goes to my top 5. But, Cindy, thank you for the call. Frank, Quick Trip is not your regular Speedway hot dog on a roller kind of food.
I think Quick Trip is great. I got a burger last time I went up to Milwaukee. I was like, let me go in and check this place out. And it's great. It's really good. Don't tell me their chicken sandwich is better than Popeyes. And I know that's not what we're doing right now, but that's a bold statement from Cindy.
bold.
Cindy, you and I you're gonna have to take me on a pilgrimage.
All right, Frank,
to
here we go.
Quick
Let's
Trip.
have we'll have a burger
have it out.
showdown at a chicken one. All right, Frank, where is your favorite fast food burger? And we've already established if you have to walk in and most of the time you're sitting down, that doesn't count as fast food. You know what we're talking. We're talking Burger King, McDonald's, Wendy's. We're talking where else has like a Sonic drive-through, things like that.
I know it's regional, and it's a homer pick, but I do believe Culver's makes the best fast food burger.
It's a very good burger.
I think the double deluxe with cheese from Culver's will go toe-to-toe against even Shake Shack. I think I would pick Culver's.
I'm going to agree with you on the quality of Culver's. I'm going to argue that Culver's, for me, is an eat-in restaurant. I don't go to Culver's for drive-through.
But they
I go
have
to Culver's
the drive-through.
They have it, though.
No,
It's an
I know-
option.
I know they have a drive-through, but here's the difference. A Culver's dining room is always crowded, whereas a McDonald's, Burger King, those kind of drive-through, those dining rooms are not crowded because the majority of their customers drive through, which makes it fast food. Culver's, people like to sit and enjoy themselves because then they eat their meal and they order their custard, and it's more of a family dining place with a drive-through option. So I don't discount the quality of the burger. I love Culver's food. I discount them in that, like, I don't look at Burger King and Culver's the same. Because Burger King the Whopper is my favorite fast food burger.
I think the Whopper is very good. I would put it at number 2 for me. I tried the Big Arch from McDonald's on Friday because my wife was going through food poisoning. So I was like, all right, I'm going to check this thing out.
Rub it in?
I thought it sucked. I thought it was not good.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was good. I thought it was big.
Big
but
doesn't make
the
it
Big
good.
Mac destroys it. Give me a bigger Big Mac. That's what the people want.
Yeah, I would agree. The Big Mac comes in second for me. It's Whopper. I like it has a much beefier flavor.
Mm-hmm.
Parker, a pick.
You've got 1 minute.
I was thinking Culver's as well, although I will say it's been a while.
Stick to your guns, Parker.
Wendy's has got a good burger.
Wendy's, I feel like, has really taken a downward spiral.
This
Since
could
they
be
started
true.
donating
That's
so
what I
much
said.
to MAGA?
Well, not even that.
No,
I
I'm
think
just-
before that, I think the quality has really gone down at Wendy's.
Yeah.
And that hurts me because I think Wendy's was really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so too.
I like
Parker, I don't
a
hate
Wendy's chicken sandwich. I don't know, but there you have it. Here are the top 5 according to that study: Five Guys, Burger King, In-N-Out, overrated. Wendy's
so good.
and McDonald's. In-N-Out is overrated.
In-N-Out's so good. We don't have
We
enough
will
time.
argue that another time. Right now, we have to say goodbye because, quite frankly, I've talked more than enough this morning. But we'll be back tomorrow on Daybreak. I'm Brian Noonan, and this is the Civic Media Network. Have a great day.
All right, live stream.
We're clear.
We are clear. Have
All
a
right,
good
we're
day,
clear.
live stream.
We're about to